Show, folks. This is Natural AF. I'm your host, Isaac.
And I'm Alexa.
And we're at the end of the year. This is the end of 2025. We made it, folks. And if you're with us today and you still have gratitude in your heart, you're doing it right. This year has been awesome. We've had so many amazing guests. Starting out the year, we had Barbara O'Neill last January.
Yeah.
So, and it's been downhill ever since. Just kidding.
Absolutely not.
No, we had so many amazing guests.
Yeah, I know. What we really did start off with a bang, didn't we? And it's, just this year's flown by, like looking back on it now. And it's been a wild ride. I think most people will agree. 2025 has been a wild ride. I am very ready for 2026. This is officially our last episode for 2025. And as we mentioned on the previous episode, we will be taking a break. So 2026, there will be no episodes coming out for all of January. And we will be back fresh with a little bit of a refresh, a little bit of an update. We're not going to spill too many beans just yet because, we're just planning at the moment. But I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to come back fresh in February 2026.
Yeah, as we were discussing the other night, 2026, this is going to be a good year, great opportunity to initiate something new. So we're coming out of a 9-year, going into a 1-year, new beginnings. But there's a lot of big changes, a lot of big celestial alignments if you track any of that stuff. So I encourage you to take this time. We're going to be taking the month off and doing the same thing, setting our intentions, setting goals, maybe doing some vision boarding. Yeah. And I will drop a little teaser just because you mentioned it. We will be having someone on, probably one of our very early episodes back, will be someone. We are actually going to be looking at astrology and especially the major transits for 2026 because there is some big things happening. There's one particular aspect that's, transition and aspect that's happening that's actually never been seen before in history. So we are going to actually have someone on to talk about these things because it's super exciting. And if you're anything like us, we want to know how we can harness this powerful energy that's coming in and, use it for good and use it to not only benefit ourselves, but the collective, because we can say that's what is happening. And I'm so here for it. Yeah. Well, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It's a fun one. It's going to be a musical episode. We've got a couple of hot tracks lined up with our friends Tessa Wilde and YV. So get ready, get some headphones on, experience this in that car on that long road trip, driving through the mountains or to the beach, depending on which part of the world you're in.
So YV is short for Young Visionary, but to us, he's just Finn. He's our friend Finn. And Tess and Finn are very good friends of ours. And this episode was just so much fun to record. And I love that we got to highlight their music. So you will actually hear some of their songs during the episode. And we talked about so many things. And it was just a little taste for people listening to this. Like, this is what it's like every time we hang out with Tess and Finn. We just have like the deepest, best conversations. And they're just such a beautiful couple. They're just absolute gems and lots of fun to hang out with, especially Finn. Like, I highly recommend, I think I said this at the end of the episode too, go and follow both of them on Instagram. And you'll see, I think you'll see more on Tessa's Instagram, some of the funnier moments with Finn. But he's just a crack up. And so grateful to call them our friends because they are just always lots of fun and amazing human beings and very, very talented artists. I've got to say, I genuinely absolutely love their music. Like, they're on my, my favorite songs are on my regular playlist that I listen to. And I just absolutely love what they're doing and highly recommend people go and follow them wherever you stream your music. Definitely give them a listen. It's so worth it.
Right. Well, as we close out the year, we're coming up on the end of our big sale in December, probably the biggest sale we've done all year. So we've been having 30% off our deodorants and 20% off Alleviate in the States. In Australia, we have an amazing deal going on now with the bundle. So it's a new thing that we started doing at the markets a few months ago, or maybe 6 months ago or whenever. But now it's available online. And that was a trick to pull off because we have 3 different types of deodorants in Australia. And so you can actually select which one goes in your bundle. So you get a deodorant, you get the skin repair or regenerate, as I call it, and Alleviate, our flagship product for top-notch combat medic level body injury, muscle and joint repair. And I love it. So people are really getting a kick out of it, getting lots of orders. So
the sale in the US will be finishing up the 31st of December is the last day that you can take advantage of that. So be sure to head to naturalartform.com if you're in the States or anywhere in or around North America. You'll be able to take advantage of that sale. And of course, while you're on the website, if you aren't on our mailing list already, be sure to join, especially now that we are taking a break from the podcast. Join the mailing list at Natural Art Form. Follow us on social, so at Natural Art Form or at Natural AF Podcast. We're pretty much across most socials, so you'll find us anywhere. But especially I'm always hanging out on Instagram, so that's where I interact with most people. But we are also on TikTok. Just head to our link tree in the show notes. You'll find all of our links. And definitely keep in touch with us there during our little break, and you'll get some more real-time updates and messages from us through those platforms.
all right. Well, this is a long episode, so we won't dawdle too much getting into it. So I hope you enjoy it. Let us know how you go and have a happy New Year. Let's crack into it.
Happy New Year, everyone. Enjoy the episode. See you in 2026. Tessa Wilde creates music for the rebels, seekers, and dreamers who dive into the depths of their soul, push the boundaries, and strive to break free from the limitations of the mind. Through high-vibe lyrics, vocal loops, and catchy melodies, Tessa takes listeners on an eclectic pop sound journey that plants seeds of affirmation in both heart and mind and will stir your soul and set you free. YV, or Young Visionary, is an Australian rapper, singer, and producer with a versatile sound that touches on hip-hop, R&B, and pop rap influences. Authentic storytelling and vulnerability are strengths that YV possesses, as well as quick-witted wordplay on heavier 808-driven instrumentals. Together, this couple also collaborate under the stage name Finesse, bringing each of their unique styles to their music and their relationship.
All right. We've got legendary Tess and Finn, this dynamic duo from Australia.
Or Finesse, as they're known of together.
Finesse. These amazing singer-songwriter, hip-hop artist duo. And I love meeting you guys at the Living Free Festival, and we became fast friends afterwards. And it was such a pleasure having you guys on the show. Welcome to Natural AF.
Absolutely. Been a long time coming. It's good to be here.
Thanks, guys. It's exciting. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
So we hang out with Tess and Finn all the time because they're good friends of ours, but this is the first time having them on the podcast, and it has been a long time coming because we've been talking about it for quite a while. And once again, it was the festival that sparked a lot of things. It was actually during one of your performances that Isaac was like, we need to get them on the show and we need to highlight the music and like we got to do this and that. And I was like, all right, let's do it. We'll book it.
Yeah. 2 years later.
What was the point? What was the point? You were like, we need them on the show.
Well,
because, hang on, background story. I heard you guys both perform at the first Living Free Festival. So that was my introduction to you. And I'd heard your music for quite a while. Been listening to your music for quite a while. But that was really Isaac's first time seeing you guys perform, like both of you up performing. I mean, you obviously did separate sets, but then you also performed together. So I don't know, what was it for you that sparked it, seeing them perform for the first time?
are you talking about the second Living Free Festival or the first one?
The second.
Oh, because I saw them the first time.
Did you see them perform at that one?
A little bit. All right. Well, we're off track. But the idea of conscious music really hit me in a way that's not in the overused sense. I feel like that word is used a lot by people, but it's for good reason. You know, there's unconscious music. There's music out there that's just garbage or that's put out for an agenda. It's put out by big music and all that.
It's just straight satanic, basically.
Or just bottom of the barrel, just low-minded stuff that doesn't really truly inspire you unless it's to some big popularized mindset that they want everybody to kind of gel with. And you two are on your own path. You have your own inspirations. I feel like it's a much more authentic journey and message that you have. So especially seeing you at the festival and just experiencing that, I was like, this is the kind of music that should be stuck in everyone's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Wow. There's definitely a lack of conscious intent behind music in the music industry. It's obviously very oversaturated with just
yeah, especially the hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I brag on hip hop though. Yeah, but I like what you do. I like a few other artists, but yeah, there's some stuff that's just like, yow, I just stuck a fork in my toe. Like, it's just really simple, dumbed down lyrics. And I'm like, yeah, toss it.
Ice tap, drugs, violence.
Bitches.
That's the market. But yeah, that's been a big part of my journey. Obviously, coming from hip hop and being inspired or getting into music from hip hop. Even when I was younger, I was like idolizing people that were probably pretty sketchy and not kind of people you should idolize. And it's been an integral part of my journey in reshaping what it means to be a hip hop artist and not allowing those negative stereotypes to infect my everyday life. So yeah, obviously a lot of my music and what I do is like now against a lot of what that, the shit we see in our day to day. But it was, definitely a learning curve growing up in that environment, idolizing rap and hip hop, and then the positive and the negative sides of what that can bring.
What about you, Tess? What were some early influences for you? Because for anyone, go and follow Tess on Instagram. We'll have the links in the show notes. I think it's at Tessa Wilde Music, right? She was a born performer. She's got videos of when she was a little girl. She's just like in front of the camera. She's like, you were just born to be a performer. But who were some of your early influences in music?
It's so funny. I've been asked that question before. I mean, early influences is a mix, like Michael Jackson. Oh my God, what's that? Oh, Aqua. Oh, sung Oh, more Clappy Girl. Like, I just listened. Mum just played all these different things, even including like, yogic type music as well. Just like eclectic. But actually, now that I think about it, that's probably why my music is quite eclectic, maybe. But in terms of my influence nowadays, like people ask me like who inspires you, and honestly, like I don't have certain artists at the forefront of my mind who I'm trying to sound like. I just like the melodies come through as they are. Like the melody and the song and the lyrics come together as a package, and they just each of them sound different. Like I feel, to me, the songs are alive and they're their own. They have their own message that want to come through, and I'm just like the messenger. I'm just the vessel for it. It's not like my sound, if that makes sense. But like when I think about most famous artists these days, like I feel like all of them, and this isn't a diss because like there's a lot of great music out there, but like it always seems to be about heartbreak and and more heartbreak, like, or sex,
Yeah, I was going to say, or just like bullshit, like partying and like everything's very sexualized. And I mean, I listen back now to like some of this, the music that we grew up listening to, like pop music. And I listen back to a lot of it now and I'm like, oh my God, this is a terrible song for kids to be listening to.
I know.
Don't realize.
Like apple bottom jeans. I was singing that like till the cows come home. But I'm like, it's singing about like her booty, like so sexual.
Yeah, and it's so much worse.
You guys remember the Macarena in school? Like they get you dancing to it. Well, the message behind it is about like cheating on her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friends.
What?
Hey.
There's like kids that are like dancing along and singing to this.
Still dance to that now. That's
is that why you do it like in a train where you're just like all like lined up?
Oh my God. Wow. That's going to be the headliner for this podcast episode, guys. The truth behind the Macarena.
Dropping bombs.
Now I'm thinking Nutbush has some innuendos in it.
Oh. There's a lot of songs that might be surprising.
Nutbush, gonna have to analyze all of these songs.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe.
No?
Cotton Eye Joe's always had a weird ring to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the old songs. I like, you guys, were we talking about this, like mixing up old stuff with like modern beats?
Yeah,
What is that?
That song.
Ghost Riders in the Sky remix. You probably don't know that
I
song.
don't even know that. You've got like a decade or
Some old
almost
Johnny
two
Cash or some
on
Waylon
Oh
Jennings.
no, no, fan.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, specifically, I find like all of the female pop artists that I'm seeing are all singing about like power to the women, which is awesome, but it's at the same time seems to be dissing men, hating on men in the process.
Yeah.
I'm like, but
100%.
we know that rabbit hole of like, feminism and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, music to me, it's just all about empowerment, self-love, healing, and like, I just want to get affirmations stuck in people's heads. Like, it's so like everyone says it's so catchy. Oh, I was singing your song in the kitchen today. Like, I'm like, yes, like that's what I want. That's all I want. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. And that like we always say it, like your type of music, you guys do, making music more intentionally, like that should be the stuff that gets stuck in your head, because these songs that you just hear on the radio, like people just listen in the background. I mean, I haven't listened to the radio in years, but it's these songs that are very low frequency. They have really like unhealthy messages in them. And they're the ones like they just get stuck in your head because you just literally hear them on repeat. And that is 100%, I believe, a form of the mind control that we receive is through like this type of music. It's pop music.
Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they use some old tricks. Like I remember listening to old episodes of Crow 777 breaking down the Beatles and how they suspect that some of these really big hits that they had were based off of ancient like classical things, like just the way that it was written. It was very intelligent, whoever wrote those, and they make a very good case for the Beatles not actually writing their stuff, and that happens a lot more than people might think.
I think Ollie Demigod says the same thing. He's broken down the whole thing with Paul McCartney, or not. I don't know. I think he's basically said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty common. You like I was listening to Vox Day talk to Owen Benjamin about this, about some of my favorite, because I love 80s stuff and it cracks me up, but I used to hate it.
My existence. I hate 80s music.
But those bangers like Lionel Richie, Footloose and things like that, I think a lot of those, let's see, the Top Gun theme and some of those other ones were written by some Italian dude that I can't even remember his name. It wasn't written by Lionel Richie, but I mean, good job.
So many
ghostwriters that no one would know of that are the ones making everything.
Yeah.
Like John Bellion. Do you know John Bellion?
No.
He's like
so many songs that you definitely would know of. He wrote.
Yeah, so he wrote Trumpets by Jason Derulo. He wrote Justin Bieber's tracks. Ghost.
Lots of Justin.
He's done heaps of like songs for A-list artists, but he's like so
Maroon 5.
anti-industry. Like his whole thing is the industry, and he's all for like independent artists and songwriters and stuff. So, but at the same time, he was also wrote so many songs for those type of artists. But yeah, I watched a documentary ages ago about, I think it was a Swedish or a Nordic songwriting crew, and they had this songwriting camp, and out of that camp, they came up with basically all of NSYNC's catalogs. So, like they in that camp, so it would have been around the 2000s to like early 2000s, late 90s time frame. And they would basically came up with all the songs that then became NSYNC, and then they used those songs to leverage off the band.
Wait a minute, like a summer camp, like where kids go and
there's songwriting camps, like there's like heaps of songwriting camps where labels and producers will collaborate, and they'll just get together and write 10 songs a day for like 2 months, and then those songs will get pitched and sold from different A&Rs to A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities. So yes, that's it. It's a whole thing.
That's fascinating. Did not know that at all.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know a little bit, but honestly, like the music world is its own world. Like, you know, being friends with you guys and like hearing more about like what goes on sort of behind the scenes and even just like the process of creating a song. Like, it's one thing I think to like write the song and like, you know, create it. But then you don't think about like all the stuff that happens after. It's almost like the podcast. Like, you know, we record the interviews and they're great and they're so much fun. But there's so much extra work that goes into like the production of it. And yeah. And like for me, which I share so much on this show, but I haven't spoken about this a lot. But I grew up singing as well, and that was my early influences were the Spice Girls and actually all my mum's
Pussycat
CDs,
Dolls.
which were like Madonna. Now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, worst music ever. Celine Dion was like a classic in our house, and like all those kind of late 80s, early 90s like divas, you know, they were my early influences. And like I sang in choir at school in primary school, and then I started like vocal coaching in during high school, and then I started like performing and stuff. But even then it was like very different to like what you guys do. Like you like book gigs and like, and then you're actually songwriting. Like I was not a songwriter. I dabbled in it, and I went to performing arts high and I dabbled in it. I was terrible. And so I really do admire singer-songwriters that like, I just see it as just like this, I just have so much reverence for it because like you said, Tess, it's like you are like this conduit. I think when you're really like in that, like how you guys are doing in this pure intention, you're a conduit for this creativity that comes through. And I think that's what is so lost now in music, in like the, you know, the pop scene and just like the stuff we hear, you know, in like the hip hop world and all. It's just so debased. And yeah, so to see you guys and like the caliber of your music, it's very, very impressive. And I actually want to get like to know, and for our audience, because actually even as your friends, I feel like we don't really know a lot about like, you know, how it's been for you, like on this journey of, you know, becoming singer-songwriters and like when it started. I mean, obviously we know with you, Tess, you were just a little performer from, you know, from when you were baby Tess. But like whoever wants to start, I'd love to hear sort of like how you like first got into music, or you realize like, I love this so much, I really want to do this. And then like how that has evolved for you over the years to like where you are now.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Yeah. So I grew up basically with my aunties, uncles, and my mother, like from a very young age, always seeing them sing around the campsite, playing classic music from like Van Morrison, rock. Like some of my earliest memories are kind of being maybe 3 or 4 years old and then like wanting to be picked up by mum, and she's like too busy singing. Like she's singing at a gig with the family and she's like picking me up on her, like, you know, holding me while she's singing. And it's just like a big family shindig. So like, that's always been a part of, I guess, my upbringing was being around music. But I didn't really start like writing songs and getting into it properly until I was about 14, 15. So I guess my introduction was kind of through freestyling with my friends, you know, getting into hip hop. I watched 8 Mile and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
I started like, you know, I memorized the raps and I was, you know, sit on my bed and pretend it's a stage and I'd like rap everything. And I had a couple of friends where we both kind of, it was 3 of us, and we all got into hip hop and songwriting through that. From that moment, I always would just write. I just like would always write songs. So I started really making songs around 14, 15. And then like around kind of 2018, 2019, I started really working on incorporating singing and actually experimenting with my natural voice, elements of neo soul and R&B. That's kind of just the sound that I naturally gravitate to. Growing up on artists like, you know, Mac Miller, Anderson .Paak, a lot of my influences were kind of that more slow, smooth, cool kind of soundscapes, you know, something you can like roll around in the car to, windows down, and just kind of just vibe with. That's always something I've kind of gravitated towards. But as well as, you know, just hip hop and R&B, I mean, I always listened to like Johnny Cash was one of them, Bob Marley, like Ed Sheeran, Fleetwood Mac, like all these type of different artists, you know, as much as I've gravitated towards neo soul and hip hop as a sound, I've always been inspired by different styles of music and different types of songs.
Yeah, I've got to say, my favorite song of yours is Your Own Way, and I actually love what you did with that song because it's like you drop all these like names of like the classics that everyone knows, and it's so clever. We were talking about this earlier. I was like, I have so many questions for them, even though like we hang out with you guys all the time. Like I never really ask a lot about the process because, especially for rappers, I think like again, I'm always so impressed because not only is it like you write it, and I'd love to know your process. Like, well, you said you freestyle. Is it easier for you to like freestyle, or do you kind of maybe get a hook and then you have to like sit and write, or vice versa? Because even it's one thing to like write a rap, right? Just like write it down. It's a whole different thing to like actually rap it, and it's like got a rhythm and a flow to it. Like, oh man,
and not sound dorky like I would if I tried to rap.
Yeah, exactly.
Smooth, yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's a full process, I guess. Like a lot of my ideas come usually in the car, to be honest. When I'm driving around and going to and from work or wherever I'm going, I'll have beats playing in the background, or
He always loves playing beats. I'm a podcast girly while driving.
Me too.
I'm like, I want to learn. Give me some, like, let's make the most of this drive. Whereas he is like, I want to write. Let's make the most of it by playing beats. Can I please put on beats? And I'm like, okay,
100%.
whatever. Then he'll just like put on random YouTube beats and he'll just start freestyling over it. And then I'm like, sometimes I'll catch and I'll be like, oh, remember that? Make sure to remember that because that was really good. I don't know if you do remember it because it's like,
no, I do. The ones that are worth remembering, I'll remember. Like I guess my songwriting is very much like, I guess, an athlete's approach to their sport. Like I'll only release maybe 10% of what I write. So like I come up with hook ideas and little
sitting on a gold
scribbles, like little verses and stuff every week. Like there's not one week where I'm not writing some chorus or making a beat. But I only keep maybe 10 or 15% of what I create. Like it's just a part of who I am, and getting those reps in is just gotten to the point now where it's just a part of, I guess, what I do. But a lot of like chorus ideas and hooks generally come in the car because I'm able to drive and a melody can kind of spark something. But when I actually write the lyrics, I'm a lot more methodical with what I do. I'll actually like spend a bit more time going, okay, how can I make this word rhyme and make sense? And how can I use this metaphor and this syllable? And how can I come up with a double entendre that makes sense in multiple meanings? And, you know, a lot of the times I'm Googling like different words to rhyme with and how it can make sense for this, you know, a verse or so. So I guess with my rap verses, I'm a lot more methodical. But when it comes to the choruses, they flow much more freely. I can just be, you know, like at the markets, or I can be driving in the car, and then that's when those ideas will flow. And then with the lyrics, it's a bit more, I guess, calculated.
But you can tell, like, based off your background with your music, you can tell, like you were saying in his verses, he gives so many references to like random little things, whether it's a movie or someone else's song or some other like really specific, like you can tell in your verses that it's just like you have a lot of knowledge about like movies and music and stuff.
Yeah, it's like culturally
creative,
relevant, but also not just stuck in this decade. Like it goes back decades, which is cool because I like that. Like we talk about neo soul and stuff like that. There's probably a whole generation right now that has no idea what that is. I'm kind of in that category, but listening to your stuff, I'm like, this has a whole vibe. This takes me back to like my dad had a few records that were not country music. And this is kind of like that, like the records, the 8 tracks. Like when I grew up, we actually had our 8-track player in our truck, and you just clip this massive cartridge into it and just blast Queen or something. Like we only had 1 or 2 of those. Like this is stuff that you could play on a record, and those are coming back now. Like
well, and I think thanks for sharing that thing, because that was going to actually be one of my questions. Like, do you have to, because I mean, anyone that listens to this podcast knows, like, sometimes I can barely string a sentence together because I can't think of the right words. And so I often wonder when I listen to like rap music, which isn't that often now, like most of it's your music now, Finn. But I often wonder that I'm like, did they just like come up, like, did this just come to them and it was like a freestyle and they wrote it all down, or do they have to actually look for the right words and whatever? Because it's so clever. And I think that was what rap truly was. You know, like you look at the rap classics and like the greats, whether or not they were, you know, influenced or, you know, they weren't even writing their music, whatever. But it was like, it told a story of the culture of that time, you know, and now like, you know, I used to love Drake, and I was with Drake from the beginning. Like his first mixtape, I was obsessed with before he even had an album, before he blew up. And then he blew up, and then like each album that he released just like gradually got worse and worse, to the point when then he started collaborating with like Future and like those guys. And I was just like, this music is rubbish. Like, they're not talking about anything. Like, they're just like, you know, Marley Percocet. And it's like, and I remember, yeah. And that was like the last years of like my clubbing years. And that's when like we used to love hip hop and R&B nights, like when you go out. And then they started playing that music out, and I was like, I can't get down to this. This is like not my scene. So I love that you like, to me, that's like a true rap artist, is like you actually do speak to the culture of the time, and like you tell a story as well.
Definitely. Yeah. I think authenticity is like one of the biggest things that that hip hop culture is lacking. It is coming back though. Like obviously these artists that I'm talking about, you won't know about because they're just not you know, they're not popular enough to be recognized, or they're not marketed on radios because you know, larger execs that want people listening to it that has a message, or you know, has you know, authenticity. But that's one of the biggest things. Like with hip hop, it was always about honestly and authentically expressing yourself, expressing your circumstances. Obviously in the early 80s or mid 80s in New York, when it was like Grandmaster Flash and all these type of characters. Like we're talking about people that are you know, the song "Don't Push Me" because I'm close to the yeah, he was a DJ and he started implementing like rap, and he was one of the first guys to do it. And so he was talking about crackheads in the alleyways. He's talking about his oppressed people, you know, in his community, and how you know, it was an outlet for him to express authentically his life experiences and what he saw, regardless of how you know, brazen it might have seemed for society. And that's kind of where hip hop kind of began, was from that. And then they invented things like 90s rap and all this stuff, your gangster rap, to basically like lower the consciousness of what hip hop truly originally was, which was authenticity, pure expression. And it's obviously still continuing to this day. But you know, you ask true rap artists or people that are of the hip hop culture, and we all know specific artists that were always speaking their truth, always setting good examples, always were really clever and technical, but they were also authentic. And those are the artists that within the rap community, you're always going to be like, yeah, like that's like they call it a rapper's favorite rapper. So like those type of characters are always holding the torch for authenticity in the hip hop like scene. It's just, you know, if you were to look at hip hop on a global scale and what's seen as popular, it's you know, little whoever with face tats drinking lean and talking in songs.
But the origin is about speaking your truth, whether it's gonna offend someone or not. You're gonna do it. And I feel like these days more than ever, so easy to be controversial or cancelled. So like now more, it's important to like speak your mind, speak your truth. Which you have, like, you know, you have some raps about
more controversial stuff. Sure.
Yeah, like, you know, trans and stuff,
Feminism
movement and
like, love a bit of controversy.
Are those released, or are they
have you released that?
No, it's unreleased. I've still got to record it.
He's got so many bangers unreleased.
I love it.
Yeah, I like the when the circles intersect with like the truther rap. There's been a few that have come and gone. Some of them are, you can kind of tell, like when someone's more of a despair type person, whether they're a despair merchant, like they're actually put up there for it, or that's just kind of where they're at. But that's also part of that authenticity thing where it's like, it is dark when you look at a lot of these things. I remember there's one guy, you might help me out with the name if you know him, but there's a truther rapper in the States. He's from Denver, Colorado. A friend of mine is close with him, but
The High Res.
not high res.
I only know a few, and they came out like in the last few years. Like people started sharing their music because they was like rapping about what happened like during COVID and how it was all rubbish, and like that's when I was just like, this is cool, man. Like there are people, like really talented people
I gotta
that
look them up, but no, but sometimes there is a bit of that despair that comes through, and then I think if you balance that with some hopeful messages, that's cool too. But it's like some of these guys, there's that one guy with tattoos all over his face and like all this, he looks really crazy. Was Push, like,
Post Malone.
It's not Post
Are
Malone.
you thinking of Tom McDonald?
There's that guy. Yeah, he's the one that's that I think is we'll say establishment approved, like approved opposition, so to speak.
All right.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the other guy's name. I never actually met him, but one of our friends is close with him, and he moved to Florida for a bit. But anyways, the Denver local was like, it was tight with the Flat Earth crew and stuff down there. It was like this whole vibe. But yeah, like I love that hip hop is a venue for a method to let these like shadow work bubbles, so to speak, let the darkness kind of come up to where you can actually deal with it and bring it out into where people are talking about it. At least it seems like it's been that way in culture. So
Well, I think that's an important point to make too, because there's a song that I'm not going to mention that Isaac hates because I listened to it at this really low point that I had where I just kind of spiraled for a day or two, and I was like listening to this song because I had just recently like kind of whatever, I heard the song and I liked it. It's a popular song. And he was like, that's just, stop listening to that. It's so satanic and it's just making you more depressed, and just stop it. But I think it's really important to, like, it's an important point to make is that, like, it's okay. I think it's very normal for music to be an expression of the low times as well. And like you said, Tess, it's like, with the heartbreak, because that is very much like what's pushed on, in pop music and on the radio. It's like heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak. So it's like, you don't want to like be listening to that constantly, especially the songs that are like they're the ones I feel like are particularly manipulative because they sound really upbeat, but when you actually listen to the lyrics, they're really like down in the dumps and like really depressing. So I think it's just always about being more conscious about the music choices. But in saying that, like when I feel down, I want to listen to sad music, and it does help me process how I'm feeling. But obviously you don't want to get stuck in that. And I think I definitely did, like, because I was very much like in the emo scene in high school. And so I listened to like really fucking depressing music. But and you don't want to get stuck there. But I think definitely like when I'm feeling down, like I want to listen to like sad music, and it does make me feel better. And then I just know I'm going to get over that and I'm going to listen to my happy music again.
Yeah, like we all have like a sad playlist. I mean, I have a sad, but I haven't listened to it in a while, but we have it.
Yeah.
And it's I want to say it sucks, but like I actually have multiple heartbreak songs myself that like I feel like I actually think they're really good, but like it's not resonant with my brand right now, which is like, empowering, but like
I think it's also
I really like this stuff.
I think it's also a reflection on where you're at too, because when you've healed past it and it doesn't,
Yeah, I wrote all these.
it's hard to go back and release that.
Someone from it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to associate myself with how I felt during that, but I know like there'd be plenty of people that it would still benefit that are going through that. But I wrote multiple songs through my seeking validation from men phase, from emotionally unavailable men and getting rejected and heartbroken, and
we've all been there, girl.
Exactly. And it was healing. It was healing in and of itself to write those songs during those rock bottom moments. Like it's just like there's a song right here. I'm gonna lean into the feeling.
Yeah.
Painful. I remember like vividly this one song I wrote in the car driving home from this guy's place. Well, I don't know, however many years ago, bawling my eyes out because I knew I wasn't going to see him again because I knew he wasn't interested in me. I was just like, I think I actually filmed myself too because I was like, you never know, in many years to come, I might look back at this and be like, and I'll post these videos of like, this is where I was. I might still do it, but yeah, I just remember like crying and I was like, okay, what lyrics are going to come through? And I wrote about, yeah, like driving after, oh yeah, no, it was called the I Try So Hard song.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I'd have to think about the lyrics, but it was very cathartic, if that's the right word. Wow.
Yeah.
And it was hard to drive though. Oh my God, crying and driving is
It can be dangerous. Yeah, it can be dangerous.
But I think women want, or especially young girls and stuff, should have some model for them of as healthy as possible, a way to show this is how I felt. Man, I felt this low. And then the next song is like, and then this is how I come back to myself. This is how I connect with the creator. This is how I embrace gratitude and feel empowered through, the best methods that I found so far. And then as you get better, it gets better. And I think there is a time and a place for all that, because that's one thing that I was aware of early on with music, because we grew up Christian, right? And we were not allowed to listen to stuff. And then we tricked our parents, not tricked them, but we were like, oh, we found this music. It was like metal, like heavy Christian. Very positive lyrics, but like screaming and like really technical guitar. And I love the drum beats and stuff. Very aggressive music. And I grew up with, 3 older brothers, and I embraced aggression.
They're like, Jesus loves you.
Well, one of my favorite bands was called Demon Hunter. Like it was
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, just knowing from a Christian perspective that the music you listen to will basically entrain you to certain behaviors and thought processes. I think that's true. You can agree with that, whether it's, happy music or dark music. Like you see that a lot. I experienced that. Like our music was dark, a bit, not depressing, but once we started going full metal, because my brothers and I had a band, we used to dye our hair black. I used to literally like paint my fingernails black.
Oh my God.
And I wasn't gothic, but I was like, and I kind of just did my own thing. Like there was a reason, it's a dumb story, but there was a reason why I painted my nails, and it involved blood. Like I freaking broke my fingernail, and like, anyways, the nail polish was how I stopped the bleeding, which sounds like a bullshit story, but
Sure, yeah, that's the story.
it's so funny. Like I was accidentally emo before I knew what emo was. I should be ashamed of myself. No, I'm just kidding. But that music and the music we listened to basically entrained our behavior, and then you physically began to look like the music looks like it. Like sound has a frequency, or frequencies have a shape, and music is like that. So yeah. So the positive side, but the sad side can't be suppressed. You can't just plaster it all over with like, kids bop or whatever. Like you got to be real.
100%. I think at the end of the day, we're multifaceted human beings, and we feel so many different emotions. And and if you're like a full spectrum, well-rounded artist, you won't necessarily be too afraid to capture each aspect of what being human is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like art is also just subjective. Like it's like you can take it and run with it too much. Like you can get into your heavy metal, and then the next minute you're dyeing your hair black and painting nails, or you can just like listen to the song. Like from the artist's perspective, right? Maybe someone like Eminem's always a good example, because he had some ridiculous songs when he first came out, talking about killing his ex-wife and all this crap. And he didn't mean any of that, what he was saying. He was just talking crap, rapping in the microphone, saying anything that he knew would be controversial. But then think about, the impact that might have made on some kids growing up and hearing that stuff. And then the parents are like, my son's memorizing lyrics about killing a woman. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very negative, it can be a negative impact, but it's also like subjective. Like the intention of art is just to create, put it out there, and then let it happen naturally. But I guess
but Eminem, an enemy, Eminem, is that's right? Eminem. He's pretty
his
He's
name's
pretty
not.
satanic.
Yeah.
So you gotta
Yeah, totally.
like.
Well, obviously, he might not be
He's-
the best example, but
But he's talented.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
Most of them are. Really.
I don't know, say you saw like someone, you went to an art museum and you saw a piece of art and it was like, I don't know, just something really weird and twisted.
A banana.
You're not,
Take
you know,
to
you're not going to be like completely change your life because with art, I'm just saying, it's like as much as it can make an impact and, affect our beings, it's also on it's the responsibility is on the listener's ears to be able to just let it flow through. It's like, oh yeah, this is just some, whatever the art is, I guess,
Yeah, the art speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That's it.
it's like the crazy thing about art is it can be exactly that deep and it can also not be that deep. And that's just a part of what makes, I guess, art fun to explore.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I love not like what we were saying about being multifaceted. Like that's why I don't want to be put into a box. Like I don't want to be just one genre. Because the music comes from, I don't know, me, somewhere, both, whatever. Like we as humans are multifaceted. And so I don't think the music should just be like boxed into, they should all sound the same. Like, I mean, it works for many artists. Like, I mean, no hate on Taylor Swift, but I don't really listen to her anyway. But like, in general, it seems like all her songs kind of sound the same. And like a lot of famous artists, their songs just all sound the same. Whereas I just like, I don't know. That's why I just like, if you've heard my music, they all sound different.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, I like that. I like the variety.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes
Yeah.
it's, if they start sounding the same, to me, it just gets boring. And I don't know, it just feels like, not that they're not trying, because I don't know how much work Taylor Swift puts into it. I'm sure,
Let's be real, guys. She's probably not actually doing anything. Like,
probably not even
she's
I don't
probably,
may not even be a woman. We don't know at this point. I've heard stories, but Beyonce's a country singer now. You can be anything you want.
Yeah. But she probably didn't write that music. But
100%
anyway,
not like that music.
We digress. But anyway, let's go back to you, Tess, because you touched on a little bit of your process, but like share a bit of your journey and sort of, how you went from baby Tess just at home singing for the camera to like, evolving into like the singer-songwriter that you are now.
yeah, I was thinking while Finn was sharing just looking back on it, and yeah, like you already said, but I was honestly singing and dancing as soon as I could walk and talk. Like when I was looking back at videos that Mum got of me, I'm like, thank you to her. One of the first toys she got me, of course, was a mic, like a toy mic.
I know the one you're talking about. I think I used to have the exact same one, although I'm like a little bit bit older than you. I think I've got a decade on you, but is it the one? It's like, it feels really hollow, but you press you sing into it and it amplifies your voice.
Yes.
Yeah, I had one of them.
Like pink and yellow or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a video just like, I'm fully going for it. I'm just singing. And yeah, it's funny. I actually, like, as I got more into like late primary school and early high school, I thought I was really set on being an actor. I wanted to be an actor, which it's still in the performer realm. Like I loved being on stage. I did like plays when I was younger, and I love stepping into characters. Really fun. Specifically, I don't know why, but I really love playing evil characters. I think it's because it's like completely
She's pretty evil.
No, it's because it's not me
fun.
at all. So it's like I can be this different character, but but then I think as I got older and I started, I guess, maybe going more into the rabbit hole, and I was like, You know, it's fun playing, for example, if I was playing evil characters, it's fun, but like horror films, I've never watched a horror film, and I don't plan on watching horror films because of the subconscious conditioning. Anyway, I'm digressing, going into acting, the acting realm, but anyway, I'd realized singing was always there. And as I got older, I was like, well, if I were to do acting, I would be solely relying on other people hiring me to act for them. Whereas for music, I can just start creating right now and just keep singing and do it, go down my own lane. And I started, same time as you, I started actually writing music around 16. But it was always in like choirs and high school musicals and stuff, always singing. But yeah, started writing at 16. I remember the first song, I'm pretty sure the first song I ever wrote, I was gifted a guitar and I was just chilling in the lounge, and I'm a bit impatient with like when I'm learning something new, I expect to be good at it straight away. Get annoyed when I'm not. So I was like trying to learn and it was sounding all buzzy, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to like strum. And I was just like, and I just wrote a song called like Traveling Around. It's actually really fun and cheeky. It's actually, not bad for my first song, to be honest. Like obviously, and I've got like a whole book somewhere of like random little lyrics. A lot of them are shit. Like a lot of them, like back then, it's just like,
You're getting your reps in.
Getting my reps in, like you said, yeah. And like you reminded me that not all of my lyrics need to be heard. Like sometimes it's like a journal entry. It's like, that's it. It's fine. But
I feel that way about Isaac sometimes, where I'm like, babe, not all of your thoughts need to be said out loud. Just keep
Or
some of them
turned
in
into
your head.
videos and put on Instagram.
I think me and Tess need that kind of reminder. We're both like,
you two are like so similar in that. Like we Yo. Yes, then I started writing and what was I gonna say? I started writing a lot as a teen about unrequited love. That was definitely the theme.
Oh yeah, the teen angst. Like it's interesting though, because both of you, and even for me, like when I started actually, doing the vocal training and like actually getting out and performing, it is in those teenage years, is because that is when you start to become a little more like step into more of like who you are and starting to figure that out for the first time. And so it's interesting that you guys both started writing songs, and I think that's very natural. And again, such a beautiful process to like have that creative outlet to start exploring, or helping you to explore different parts of yourself.
Yeah, it was definitely just healing. It's like I was never one to journal. I was instead one to just sing. Like that was my journal entry. Like it would just, like maybe it's the, the self-projected going to the human design, self-projected. I would just like, my process of healing would be singing and writing a song. And sometimes it just like blurted right out of me, super easy, like wrote a whole song within, I don't know, half an hour. And then sometimes I would write like, the chorus would come to me, but then I'd have to actually sit down and step into my logical left brain and be like, okay, what works with this song? Have to actually really get to work with it to finish it. But in terms of my writing process, like I was thinking about it, I literally don't, like, songs come to me at the most random times. And
so can I just say, so you mentioned human design. So for our listeners, Tessa and I are both 2/4 self-projected projectors. So of course we bonded over that instantly when we found that out. And I was also like, oh, of course she's a self-projected projector, because she's like, literally using
we send each other 10-minute voice messages.
Yeah, exactly. That's too. But also you have your head, ajna, throat, and G center defined. So you literally have like this column of defined centers that, and like they say in human design, all roads lead to the throat because all the energy in the body graph is wanting to be expressed.
Giggity, giggity.
But what you're just speaking to now, like that defined head center, you literally have consistent access to ideas and inspiration. So it's no wonder that songs just like drop in and come to you at any time,
That means so much.
Absolutely. And then you've got, and then it's coming through, like it's putting the pressure on the ajna to like figure it out. Like in terms of like the songwriting process, you're like, okay, well then how am I going to like bring this together and like, actually conceptualize and form the idea of it. And then it's literally going to your throat to be expressed. And then also, for both of us being self-projected is like, comes from the G center, the identity center, being connected to the throat, and like it's literally a projection of it's pure self-expression, that's just you to a T. Like, and that's what I love about human design, because you can look at it and you can literally see how it plays out in someone. And for you, like, it just, to me, looking at your chart, like it just makes so much sense.
That feels, so true. Because like I was also going to say the fact that like most of the time when a song comes through me, I then record it in voice memos, because like, and if I don't record it in voice memos, it's gone forever. Like if I don't capture the thing the idea coming to the ajna, it's like, it ends up there. Like it doesn't stay in here. So I listen back. So many songs I've listened back. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I wrote that. Like I cannot believe I wrote that. Like it's, and each time I'm like honestly, and I don't mean to like brag, but like I hear it back. No, each time I write a song, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to write anything as good as this again. Like, seriously, I'm like, that was so good. Always in the moment, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to write anything good again. And then it just happens. I'm like, oh,
I've peaked. This is it. I can't get any better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Have you ever woken up out of like dead asleep with like a song or something coming through?
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever had dreams? Because I've heard people talk about like having dreams of like a song will come to them in a dream and they literally like wake up and just write it all down, and that's how they wrote their song.
I've only had that once, and that was actually lyrics for my first ever song, the Traveling Around.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just one line, and it was like, I woke up, so random. The line was, I left a stopwatch down in Tokyo, and it's pulling my heart on a rope, Like, it's so
Oh, that's cool.
I love that. It's so unique.
so random. And I haven't been to Japan yet, so maybe I'm gonna have to go and check it out.
If you find a stopwatch in Tokyo, that's gonna blow my mind.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, I've rapped and I've made songs in dreams before. Like I've had like full like sessions where I'm like hanging out with professional artists, or like I've like rapped and sang with Ed Sheeran before. Like I've had weird dreams like that where I'm like hanging with other artists or big artists, like local artists, and we just like singing and rapping. But
do you remember the lyrics though?
not really. No, not usually. Like it's not really. It's not usually. When I do try and remember, it's never like a really cool lyric. It's always just like something random. I guess that's just a reflection of, like
I'm a ball floating
dreams.
through the
And,
universe.
Wouldn't that be funny if Ed Sheeran had the same dream?
Oh yeah.
And it was like his worst song.
But what if it was, what was that song? Oh no, Thinking Out Loud. I was going to say, I thought it was Dreaming Out Loud. I was like, imagine that's where Dreaming Out Loud came from, but it's not even called that.
Yeah. No, it's really cool.
Yeah, I never understood how you wrote a song, because when I was in the band with my brothers, we had one friend and he was the channeler, man. He was the one that wrote, and we'd sit around. I was so bored. I was playing bass. And I would be like they're like repetitively going over like, oh, maybe if you tried this with the hi-hat and the snare drum and then this and that. And then eventually it'd get around to like me, like, all right, you could play something like, this and this note. And then I would just that's like my little part, and I would make my part, but it was bass, guitar, and it was so simple. So like the writing process, I was like, I don't have that, man. I've tried when I was a
I'm
kid.
the same.
Like when I was 16, 17, 18, would try writing lyrics and was like, I'm a different type of creative. Like I have different creative abilities, but that one is different. But the other thing I was raving on, because I tried to, it's so dumb, but I tried to record a song. I was going to sing it for Alexa, and I recorded it to kind of practice it. I was like, it is so hard to sing, especially like somebody else's song that sings it really well. I think it was a Justin Bieber song, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and admit it. I don't care.
Really?
It was a
I don't
nice
think
song.
I even knew it was a Justin Bieber song.
But it was just like, I was like, I was in love, like fresh new love. And I was like, oh, I want to like learn this
before we
song
met
and
in
sing
person.
It's so hard to do what you guys do, to sing on key, in time, like with the feeling and the emotion, like all the stuff coming through. Because when I listen to it back, I'm like, it sounds on key in my head, but it is not.
I honestly, like,
Totally.
I never understood. It's like, it goes to show, it reminds me to be really grateful for being able to do that, because like when I would try and sing with, say, like a friend way back when as a teen who didn't have good, what do you call it? Good, just like a good ear.
Like
Yeah.
tone deaf.
Like the tone deaf.
Tone deaf. Yeah. Tone deaf. I just thought everyone could do it. Like, and when she would sound off, I'm like, I don't understand how. Like, it just repeat after me, and then I'd sing it, and she'd still sound bad. It's just like literally just copy me. Like, it's listen to the music. It sounds like this, and also like having rhythm. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to trust. Like when you want the audience to clap along, everyone always
someone that's clapping at Yeah, there's always
follow my hands.
follow the beat. It's not that hard. I know, it's so funny because I'm a bit the same. Like, and again, we both have the true line. That's very, very normal for the true line to think that like everyone has the gifts that we have, and we just think like everyone can do it, and then you realize that not everyone can. And yeah, I grew up with, so me and my cousins, two of my girl cousins who are sisters, we literally grew up just like every school holidays we'd be together, and we'd just be in the room for hours like performing Spice Girl songs, and we were each a Spice Girl.
With the hairbrush.
Yeah, with the hairbrushes, yeah. Or like, do you remember the Impulse deodorant cans? Or like, they weren't even deodorant.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that would, like, yeah, we would like sing with those. And what my oldest cousin, God love it, like completely tone deaf, but she was singing for her life, man. Like she was like fully into it, performing, and like couldn't hit a note to save her life. And so it's interesting when, you're just like, why can't, like, how do they not hear it? But they literally just don't hear it. But I don't think you're that bad, babe. He's actually never let me hear him sing. And I'm like, I can hear in your voice, I think you're not that bad. But he just, ever since he like practiced and heard himself back, he's like, no, I can't ever let you hear me sing.
Oh, now's the time. No, I'm right now.
Songs. I just don't know that many songs. Truly, I'm like, I don't know like 4 words. One song.
Yeah. But I think that's why I also am very like, I do have so much reverence for singer-songwriters. We've had Jessica Jasmine on the show, and the way that you guys, okay, so it's like one thing to be able to sing or to be able to rap, right? Like just to have that ability, but then to write a song that actually sounds good, that people enjoy, and then on top of that, to have so much meaning behind it. There's so much intention put into it, and to actually create your own sound in this really unique way. Because like for me, and I think like, you just reminded me of that, because when you're trying to sing a song that someone else has written, and you naturally almost like end up like sounding like them. And like the way that I sort of, when I would like try and emulate the singers that I looked up to, you just try and sound like them. And so I spent a lot of my years singing, trying to sound like other people. Now, obviously I inherently, like everyone inherently has their own voice. And again, like human design, I've got a defined throat. So does Isaac. So we have like a very consistent way in which we speak. But I've got to say, like, I feel like there's this part of me that I feel like I've lost in that pursuit of trying to sound like other artists. I actually have like this massive block, like a family friend of ours, who's like an auntie to me. I've like known her my whole life. She is a bit psychic, and she has been telling me, like, for the last few years, she always gets these psychic messages about, like, you need to go and sing out by your dam. Like, you need to be singing over the water. And I've gone down a couple of times, and I just get down there and I'm like, I don't know what to sing. Like, I don't know what to sing. Because I straight away go to, like, oh, what song should I sing? And it's like someone else's song, you know. And I've learned a lot more about like light language and things like this and how that can come through. And Dottie, who we've also had on our show a couple of times, or a few times now, we've heard, she's got a beautiful voice, and that's Jessica Jasmine's mum for our listeners. And she has an amazing voice, and we've actually heard her sing in light language. It is like literally angelic. Like, it's incredible. And I just feel like I have such a block to that. And that's what I really feel like. I look back now and I'm like, it's all those years of like the vocal coaching, and like you do it in this certain way and you hit the notes perfectly. And it's like, it almost loses the creative aspect. And that's why I think, like, when I say you guys and the way that you guys create and like do your music and perform, it's like, yeah, you've got to know some of the technical stuff, but I think there's so much more, it's so much more potent when it's just like this pure creativity, and it literally just allows like not only your voice to be heard, but again, going back to it being like almost like this conduit of like source energy.
Yeah, it's pure expression.
Yeah.
One of the rawest forms of expression.
What were we going to say about singing before?
Oh, it's fine. No, I can't remember. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think on topic of going by the dam and singing, I think you should definitely definitely do it, even if you just start off harmonizing. You know, like I know with my older brother,
What do you mean by that?
like just doing harmonies, like riffs, like yeah, like
Melodies, yeah.
da, 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 and just messing around. Maybe a bit better than that, but just let the frequency come to you, and just like play around. Even if you sound like trash for 2 minutes, after the 2 minutes, you might just find that sweet spot. Because it has a different like vocal range and strengths and different timbres in our voices that make it unique. So
Yeah.
just give yourself the opportunity and time to hear that again and remember what that feels like.
Yeah.
Also remembering it's just pure expression at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be this you know, it's got to be a song. I don't want it to sound like this artist. Like it's so easy to get in our ways, but it's just pure expression. It's no different to like painting on a rock.
It doesn't
know?
have to be words, like you said, like
Yeah.
a light language. It could be your own form of that, whatever that looks like for you. It's just like, or humming, you know, la la la. It's just like that's healing in and of itself. So,
Yeah.
I'm just getting a picture of like a Disney vibe where you've got Snow White out there singing, and then and then I show up on I'm on the other side of the dam. I just came off my horse and I'm like singing a harmony to your singing.
And Isaac just rocks up like full lumberjack style, you know.
yeah.
He's got the-
With my black hair and my earrings.
That would be a hilarious skit. Like
Start
Alexa just
harmonizing
looking
in
all
metal.
angelic princess, like get that glow effect on it, and then you're just coming in the background.
Yeah.
Get me. Yeah. And he's singing what's that song? What's that one?
Where are you?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's the
god.
emo
Can't unsee
Cinderella.
that.
It's the slipper, and he's like,
Oh,
"Where
man.
are you?"
You guys, I think we should get together and write a musical. I think it'll be fucking hilarious.
Emo. Should it be called Emo the musical?
Email musical. Email.
Yay.
We should get
Blending that emo and like Disney vibe.
Oh, that would be
we should get,
hilarious.
Michael Griffith on this.
Michael is a playwright.
Yeah.
So funny.
But with what you were saying about the vocal coaching, it's funny because I forget who it was, but someone did. Oh no, I remember who it was now, but it's not important. Someone reminded me that it's actually better that I didn't go to didn't do vocal coaching, because they train the authenticity out of you.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Perfect.
100%. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So like having not have that background, like it's a positive and negative because like I know artists that did have the professional training and like it definitely comes in handy. I think actually where I'm at now, I would like to do as I do more live performances and live shows, I definitely want to do vocal training now. Now that I have, like, I know my artistry more, I know who I am. Well, I'm still learning, but I know who I am more than back then. But it's really handy to know that technique so you don't mess up your vocals because, like, if you mess up your vocals, like, it's your instrument, it's your main instrument. Like, and it's a muscle end of the day. If you don't sing properly or if you don't warm up, warm down, all the things, like you then can't perform. So, but in terms of like the balance of technique and authentic expression, if you were to choose one over the other, definitely authentic.
Yeah.
The performance itself and the feeling. Like, I know another vocal coach like said, you know, because we are so hard on ourselves too. Like, I'm sure you would agree with, like, we've all gone out on stage and then afterwards I'm like I'm nitpicking the one little note I hit wrong or that one little bit I sung a little bit off or I forgot the lyric here, whatever. And it's like the audience does not care. The audience does not care. They are there to connect with you and the feeling and the message that you are there to portray and like the performance in and of itself. So I find even when watching a lot of live performances, like the artist could actually sound not that great, but if they're performing their heart out, like the audience is like, yeah, that was a great show. Like that was amazing. They did amazing.
Yeah, like my mum's best friend, she's a dancer and she was a professional dancer all her life, and so now she does kind of like more teaching, and she's also like a yoga teacher and a yoga instructor. Anyway, and she does she works with disability kids doing like dancing, and they do a big end of year performance. Watching those kids perform, and they're not even kids, a lot of them are adults, but they're mostly Down syndrome, and then just like other disabilities. Like watching them perform, you're just like, this is the best thing ever. Like they just have no filter. And again, it's like this, it's just this pure expression. Like it's this, and there's so much joy in what they're doing. And it's like, who cares if it's technically perfect? Like, no one cares. Like, it's like watching them have so much fun and putting just their all into it and their heart and like loving what they do. You're right. It's so much more important. And like, as you're talking, I'm like, wow, I've definitely been so conditioned in that area, because not just with the coaching, and also like starting in choir, it's quite technical, and like you're in your certain sections and you got to sing, you know, the correct notes and whatever. But yeah, not just like the training and like you're trained to just hit the right notes and do all the exercises and whatever. It's like I literally started performing doing a Stedfords where you're scored and you're, you know what I mean? You're rated. And that was most of my quote unquote singing career. And I think like in the end, we'll never forget, that's because I auditioned for Australian Idol twice, but the first time I was like, because I think they start like it was like minimum age was 15, I think. So as soon as I turned 15, I was like, I want to audition for Idol. Of course I didn't get in because I sounded like a friggin' pipsqueak, like I was 15. And then I went again at 18. And I'll never forget, it was on my 18th birthday weekend that I had we like partied the night before. I went into the audition the next day and then we partied that night again. Like obviously I was not committed. And then the last audition I ever did was for X Factor when I was 20, I think, I think I was 20. And I just remember then, like, I just completely lost my love for it. And I think that's why, like, reflecting back now, it didn't feel like an authentic expression for me. It just felt like this thing that I was trained to do. Yeah, like this thing that I was trained to do. And I just had to like hit the notes and sing the songs. And like, there wasn't that heart in it anymore. And I used to feel like those performances, or sometimes even I'd just be practicing at home, like the performances where I really did feel like my heart was in it, there was so few and far between, because it just always felt like this, like I was just training for something constantly.
systematic robotic approach to what is meant to be like just a pure form of expression.
Mm.
Yeah, that's kind of a big like Australian dream thing too. It's like, yeah, darling, go on Australian Idol. It's like that's awesome. And it's like it's easy to get swept up in like the excitement of that. But I think the true like I guess intention behind singing and expressing yourself with music is you don't want it to feel like a job. Like obviously you're gonna have times as an artist or singer songwriter where it is your job and you've got to do whatever you need to do, but to not lose that fun, expressive, creative part of it. And it sounds like you're probably just in the wrong environments, I guess, to not allow that to properly blossom in a natural way.
Yeah, totally.
And Australian Idol, X Factor, and The Voice
all
are
rigged.
all like rigged anyway.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I never actually got in. I look back now and I'm like, I literally dodged a bullet. And also because my mental health was not good during those years. And I often wonder, it's like that, sliding doors moment where I think like, God, if I had gone down that path, I just don't think I would have ended up in a good place at all.
What do you mean by rigged? Like, how do they rig it? What's the gravy on it?
It's just all cuts, like different cuts. They cut it to portray a certain narrative. That's like just like the news.
It's
It's
scripted.
like with any entertainment, like even those reality shows, like they cut different parts. Like someone could be talking about someone about something else and then pull that same sentence and make it look like they're talking about, you know what I mean? Like they're just really good at editing.
They dramatize it and play a character.
But they also like rigged as in they influence who goes through to the next round.
100%.
Like the directors of the show.
Yeah, the producers, not the.
Because I met someone.
My main thing is the contracts. Is like the contracts within Australian Idol and all those shows is if you get past a certain point, then they own all your masters and the publishing rights for all your future music, anything from that point onwards. So basically, there's no way you can like
for a certain amount of time. After the show.
So you can't be an authentic, independent artist that has control over their creative expression. As soon as you get to a certain point, they basically will own you, and that's why so many artists get shelved in that position. So basically,
well, they own your creations as in money wise. So like Ciala, do you know Ciala? There was a girl on The Voice, so talented. I think she came like third. I was obsessed with her. She's like a rapper, singer. Love her. And but she didn't release music. She's hardly released any music since then. And she was on The Voice like, I don't know, 5 years ago now. And I think like looking back now, I'm like, she's done this on purpose. She's not released her music. She's waited till like the 3-4, I don't know. I'd assume it's about 3 years after the show ends. She's waited so that she can release her music freely and own her stuff.
And there's a lot of artists that come out like saying that like years later you kind of hear how burnt they can get, like not always. And again, I also think it's like, the ones, like speaking to like Australian Idol specifically, obviously like the OG, like, those first few seasons of Idol, like a lot of them, like, Guy Sebastian like blew up and like everyone, he's like a household name now. I think like you get those ones that like they kind of get catapulted because again, it's not, and I obviously you learn this, like I learned this very early on, just in my, again, quote unquote singing career. I'd use that term very loosely, but you learn that it's not just about your singing, like your vocal abilities. Like it's literally, they want the whole package. So they want the look, they want the personality, because if they can't market you, you're basically useless to them. And so, you get these, some that got catapulted, but a lot of them, especially like the more and more seasons came out and then the more shows came out, like now you've got, like there was X Factor and now The Voice and what was the other one? Like Australia's Got Talent, which singers came out of. Like the more saturated it became, like the more and more people you hear about that just got completely burnt through the whole process. And again, like what you said just before, Finn, it's like it takes away like the beauty of the art. It's like when people just become commodities because of their talents.
Yeah, follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
some music business for a
Yeah.
reason. Huh?
I've thought about it. I would only go on The Voice or whichever, like purely for exposure,
Yeah.
just if I can gain some following. But I would not want to go further than like maybe the second or third round or whatever, second round. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I would not want to go too far up because that's when you, yeah.
That's when they own your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so what if you like come out and then you change your name? Like the artist formerly known as Prince.
You'd sign a contract. Like
It is.
there'd be all these contracts that you can't, like, you
Yeah.
have to abide by, like a binding thing.
Last year, Australian Idol DM'd me on Instagram saying,
No way.
yeah, they it was like a spam email they would have sent to heaps of different artists. But
Yeah.
obviously, like some rep was just looking for artists to try and get submissions in, and they're like, oh yeah, you should submit to Australian Idol. We think you might have potential, blah blah blah. And then I got a call from one of the guys, and I was kind of like, look, man, I don't think Australian Idol is for me. Like the stuff that I make, it's hip hop. It's a little bit, it's not as like commercial for some. And he was like, no, man, you may as well give it a go. Like rap's becoming more popular or whatever. But yeah, I remember looking at the contracts and it's all the same thing. It's just like you can't, like, they pretty much control your brand, like what you're allowed to say technically as well. Like they can't control what you can or can't say, but they'll have control over your Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
So if you just go like AWOL and just go, I'm going to say whatever I want, then they'll probably try and restrict you in some form.
Mm.
But yeah, it could be. I'm curious to know if there's loopholes in changing names. That'd be pretty interesting.
100%. Well, that's what Taylor Swift did. Speaking about her earlier, she re-recorded an entire album, and there was something in there where she was actually able to like loophole out of that contract by completely reproducing the whole thing herself, his-self, whatever.
Tyler Swift.
Tyler Swift.
Yeah, Tyler.
Mikey Cyrus.
Oh, so I'm going to shift gears and kind of hard, but I had this topic in my head and I was like, I want to break this open, see what you guys feel about it. With regards to Alexa singing Down at the Dam, you know how a lot of times you'll get that advice from somebody like, just don't think about it, just do it. And I forget what we were listening to, but I think it was an Alex Zek show or something, but they were discussing brain injuries and how people can still function even when there's like most of the brain is missing. The person can still function normally.
Oh, that was on Mark Gober's podcast.
Mark Gober, that's right. It was
Yeah.
Where is my mind, or where's your mind?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about that and this like let go, and then you brought up the Down syndrome people basically performing to the max with no filter, very free, very authentic, very empowered in a way. And I was like, what if that's part of it? Like the idea that the brain is a governor and you actually have to learn to let go, almost like you're flexing a muscle, but the flex is to release it, to channel what could be your higher self, angelic beings or something, or just, I don't know, like escape the limits of this conditioning, the reality around us that we've been exposed to. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think
Deep.
it's very deep. I feel like you can do anything in this life if you have true like delusional self-belief and just the confidence in your expression. Like if you could just remove that part of the brain, self-doubt or any like negative rewiring or like whatever your childhood upbringing is that makes you think a certain way to doubt yourself or not see your true worth. I think if you had a blueprint of someone who just had relentless delusional self-belief and confidence, even if they sounded pitchy and they also had like a strong work ethic, they'll 100% become successful. Like there's no doubt in my mind. I think that's definitely possible. But the way our brains, the way the human mind works, I think it's really difficult to just be that. Tune into that frequency of just like, no matter what it is I do, I'm just going to have so much relentless self-belief and have fun, and no one's going to stop me because I'm awesome and I love what I do and this is what I want to do. And yeah.
I have two things on my mind about that. one that's actually been on my mind lately about the fact that, you know, we are the creators of our life. We are just creating our lives. And like creativity runs through us all because of that. And I was thinking recently how like literally we're just making shit up as we go. Like we call ourselves artists because we do. Like every entrepreneur, like like this is all just a game, and we're just like playing a role that we decide to step into. And like entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur is incredible because you just decide one day to be like, I'm going to create this and I'm going to keep at it just because I can, just because I want to, just because I'm curious about it, just because it lights me up, I'm passionate about it. Or, you know, if we're lucky enough to say the idea has just come to me, like I feel like it's just so clear. I need to just follow this now. But other time, you know, many other people, most of us are still just like finding our way and being like, oh, what do I want to do in this world? Like, what is my purpose? And like, it because of like the way society's designed with like, you know, the whole capitalism structure, whatever, with money, conditioning, like there's all this pressure to be someone. But like, if that was stripped away, like we're all just making shit up. Like that is life. We're just making shit up as we go. And there's,
I agree.
like,
Because imagine
calling ourselves experts because of like time and discipline dedicated to one thing. Like mastery comes from just being, you know, a nerd on one thing, you know, like you would know. It's just like,
I think about that all the time, especially with like what you said with entrepreneurial things. Like the organic certification. There's who made that?
The government, so they could charge you money for something else.
But it's not even necessarily
it's
the
actually
government.
probably no, it's not. It's just some organization was like, we're going to give you an accreditation.
There are government organizations for things, but
it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they made their own certification for like cruelty free, to use this sticker for cruelty free. This specific one, you've got to be you know, tested by these people, you know, and who put them in charge? You're like, you could just make your own thing and make it even better. Like I remember, well, just in the music industry, for instance, like if you're playing a certain style of music, how does someone come to calling it a certain genre? Where does that come from? It comes out of the spirit of the people.
And then subgenres. Subgenres were born from just from people leaning into like make other shit up. And it's like, oh, we have to label it something. It's like, well, no, like, this is what it like. Oh, that makes me feel this way. Oh, this has to be called pop punk. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I think with music, a lot of it stems from rock. Usually, it's like rock, blues, jazz influences, and then you've got like your classical, and then I guess poetry. Like if you think about, if you were to think like hip hop is basically just synchronized poetry over hip hop beats and stuff. Like when you think about, I guess like in the 40s or 30s, maybe even 20s, like blues music came from like African Americans and being in like slaves, basically like hooked up in chains, and then they would do call and response, and that's where it all came from, like blues, like the hardy, 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 like that's where blues came from. And then after blues, it was like the white folks were like, how can we come up with something that's also as popular, but we can like identify as more classy and classical and timeless and white and have theory to it. And then that's what jazz was. And then, you know, rock kind of came from a hybrid of jazz and more blues, you know what I mean?
And then pop just means popular.
Yeah, exactly.
And then mumble.
I make music that's
self-explanatory.
Conscious popular, you know?
But it's so true though, because like, who's to say you can't make classical trap music with elements of
that'd be dope.
Like of rock, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, classical trap.
That's
Yeah, I like I love instrumental stuff. When I started getting into like listening to people's messages and wanting to like stay away from negative influences, so I just started listening to only instrumental stuff, but I still like that rock. So it was what's his name? David something. He's a violin player, he's German, and he does this like rock opera with violin, and it kicks. He's like
Cool.
it's like like hair metal, but he's like hair opera with a violin. There's no singing. It's just like a violin with like a rock orchestra with guitars and drums and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, like when iTunes was still a thing, like iTunes, it wasn't Apple Music, it was like iTunes where you just could store all your music and then you could also like buy stuff. And again, this is very telling of me, but I used to love to like organize all my music. So not just in playlists, but like you could literally go, you can't do it anymore, but like you could literally go to like get info or something and you like all the information on the song would be there, like the beats per minute, the tempo, like everything would be like all the info would be in there. And then there was like a drop down for genres. I was so overwhelmed by the amount of genres. Like there would be like pop rock, pop, every kind of pop. Yeah, there was like every kind of pop music and then like all the different types of rock music. And because I used to kind of like categorize everything by genre and then like I had to stop because then every like album I'd be like, but what is this? Is it true pop or is it like jazz pop rock? And there was like all these different like hyphenated ones and it was so overwhelming. But you guys make a great point because I think, and again, just reflecting on my own experience and like, because not only for me, I'm left brain dominant already. Like I'm right-handed. I'm like more analytical, logical. Like that's just my natural propensity. But then we are also like modern society is very conditioned to a left brain way of being. So we need all the answers. We need all the facts. Like we just dismiss creativity and things like that, unless they make you money. Like it's all, very like we lose that abstract like that, like, what you guys were saying about like not needing to have a label, not needing to have an answer for things, like just being able to express yourself and it doesn't need to sound good. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot to say for that. I think a lot of people relate to that in some form or another, because especially like, talk about entrepreneurship, that literally is like, I've done all this business coaching this year. And like one of them, he's like, you are like, he talks to everyone as if like you're an entrepreneur. And I just like, I've really struggled with that. Like, I don't identify with being an entrepreneur at all. I've never seen myself as an entrepreneur. I don't feel like I have the traits of an entrepreneur. But when you put it that simply, Tessa, it's like, it's just someone that decided they were just going to do something one day and then they call themselves an entrepreneur. It's like, it actually is that simple.
You can slap a label on yourself, any label you want. You can be a fucking man these days. We're making shit up. Anyone's just making shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, as you were saying that too, I was thinking like with, society, kind of shunning, is that the right word? Shunning like creative careers. I'd say one reason for that is because you can't really control creativity. And often it was the artists that were at the forefront of like the revolution of all the things, like the revolutions, just like speaking their mind and going against I feel like the core of music. Yeah.
Revolutionary artists.
Yeah. Back in the day, like you said, the slaves were making music to liberate themselves. And it was about, like music was liberation and is, to me, to this day, is liberation through whether you're wanting to listen to sad music to liberate yourself in that zone, or whether you're wanting to listen to like no to just like get really motivated.
Yeah.
But specifically even like with the lyrics.
Yeah.
With the lyrics, like that's why the lyrics to me are really important. The lyrics that are speaking out against the system, like Rage Against the Machine type vibe, that's what music as well as art in general is like truly made for.
Yeah, it's time to reclaim it.
Yeah, in many ways, it is. I guess music has always been kind of political in many ways, not in the modern sense that they put it, but it's like controversial and makes you like kind of question things or ask questions and be like, damn, okay.
Yeah, because
Or sit with something, to be able to listen to like a really powerful song and then to sit with it and be like, fuck, that's crazy, to like think about it and then ponder on it and then
because it makes you feel, and feeling is what like initiates momentum and movement and inspiration and action. Like we take action based off the feeling, and the music makes you feel.
Totally. Yeah. And I think this is a perfect segue into, because we've got a couple of songs of yours queued up that we want to, sample for the audience and definitely direct them to go and listen to your music because it is awesome. But just like to that point as well, like it is like music is about, like, yes, I think first and foremost, it is all about that creative expression for the artist, for like, I think, like you said, like there's so many songs and things like you don't even release because you're just like, I got that out. I feel better. I've like processed my emotions and like, I don't really need to, release it and have everyone hear it. And just that alone, there's so much power in it. But then to create a song and put it out there and to have people hear it, and like I remember after your performance at the Living Free Festival this year, Tessa, like people were coming up to you and going, oh my God, you're just, your songs are amazing and you're so beautiful, and like so like enamored by, this performance because, and your last song that you performed, which I really wanted to highlight on this podcast, but it's not ready. I was bawling my eyes out because the word, like it's, and again, it's so much, it's not just the lyrics and the words, it's like the music and how it sounds and like that all together, and then your beautiful voice. And it's like when music can touch people in that way, like that's what I think is so powerful. Like that's where the power of music lies. It is in this ability that it has to connect people and, have things come up for them. So one of the songs we're going to highlight, Finn, is yours, which really touches on generational trauma, which, I love that an artist such as yourself and a male artist can talk about this stuff because men don't really talk about this stuff together. I mean, look, in our circles, it's a little bit different. Anyone that, ever has hung out with us knows like we go deep and we love the D&Ms and like, we do talk about this stuff. But generally speaking, like men don't talk about that stuff with each other. And so I just think like for a guy, young man to hear your music, Finn, and hear something like that and go, oh, holy shit, I relate to that. Like that's so powerful. And again, like it gets them thinking in different ways and like having things come up and like feeling different things. And then so what for you might have helped you to process your emotions over something can then do the same for someone else.
100%.
Yeah, it's one thing, like you said, it's one thing to write a song and maybe not release it, and it was just for me, just for the artist. But like what I'm realizing more and more, it's like it's a whole nother level that's indescribable to release a song out to the world and have the song like resonate with people, like just hit them personal the same way or even a totally different way. It's like like for example, like I mean you could, if you have access to Spotify, if you wanted to play like a Phoenix, but like I had more than one person message me online for that, about that song, saying that helped them get through a domestic violence situation.
Wow.
And like how am I to expect how was I to expect that to happen without like imagine if I never released the song because I was getting in my own way,
Yeah,
and thinking the song's not good enough or not done or whatever, or I don't like it anymore, whatever, I wrote it too long ago. Like it's just the art is healing, and if the artist sometimes needs to get out of the way to let the art happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautifully
definitely.
spoken.
Thank you. Yeah.
And on the topic, I guess, of like, talking about those more personal things. I think that's what we're doing at the end of the day is we are healing. Like a lot of it. Obviously not every song is deep and full of and meaning, but that's what it is to its truest form. It's like we're
Well, some songs, even if it's not deep songs, it brings joy.
Yeah,
Joy is healing.
exactly.
It brings a smile, or if it makes your body move,
Yeah.
then it's healing.
Yeah, exactly. Like every time I hear Cup of Tea, I like my own company. And mind you, after the first festival, I listened to that song in its entirety. Actually, no, that's the one I was listening to a lot because it was on that playlist. And so I was like, I actually did know it very well. And then when I found out after the festival that you were also a 2/4 self-projected projector, I was like, this is such a 2/4 self-projected projector song. Like, I so relate. And it's like literally every time I hear that, I instantly feel happy because it's got its whole own vibe, you know. But then like the last song you performed at your set, at this year's festival, I was like bawling my eyes out because it was just so deep and it just hit me on such a deep level where I was like, oh my God, like I was like bawling my eyes out. I can't remember the last time I did that at someone's performance.
Oh, it was so moving too, like witnessing you, and there was another girl too that came up crying out. It's like that is you are the reason, like I'm creating this song. Like, okay, no, there's more reasons. I made this song for myself, first and foremost, because it's like, yeah, all of my songs I initially wrote because I need to hear that message myself. But then it's a matter of getting out of my own way of perfectionism, etc. It's like, oh, actually, this message is for not just me. This message is for many other people. It's not about me, like not about me. But sometimes I listen, because I don't really, and most artists I would say agree, we don't really listen to our own music that much. But when a song comes on sometimes of mine, I'm like, oh yeah, this is healing. Like the message in it is and I
digest it in, and it's hard to not
as a
listen to
listener,
it.
like detached, like just as a listener of the art itself. But yeah, I'm sorry I don't have the song to show now, but like I can still like explain the potency of it. Like the song is called More Than Enough. And I remember I wrote it at a women's circle I went to when everyone was doing a share of like something we're still working on, and then something we want to work on in our personal life and music life. They're all artists, and then something like a success, like to share, like a win. And most of the things that we're working on were all very similar around self-worth, self-esteem, perfectionism, getting in my own way, etc., etc. And I was like, how interesting, like we're all feeling these same feelings of doubting ourselves. And I'm like, why? Yeah, why is this happening? And that's actually was the other thing I was thinking of before when, Isaac, you mentioned about the brain thing, getting in our own way. And I was like, the one thing I still actually don't have a solid answer. Maybe you do, but like why we still get in our own way so much, and me included. And anyway, that's why I wrote that song, because as a reminder to myself and anyone else listening that like we are more than enough, and we're the only person getting in our own way. Still to this day, you know?
Mic drop right there.
All right, Finn. So I think, are we going to start with his track?
Yeah, just because we've got it queued up. I would love to play Like a Phoenix, but people go and listen. And I love, because that song too, you said, I can't remember if it was around the time of the festival. I can't remember if it was before or after, but some DJ like in the States like reached out to you and they're like, I've like remixed this song and I'm playing at this big event. Like that's friggin' epic.
Yeah, never would have expected that if I didn't release the song.
Yeah, so cool. But yeah, this one, sorry, what's it called? The one that we've got queued up, Finn?
Days of Grey.
Days of Grey. So it's like names for me, like people's names. Yeah. Like unless I've said it 20 times, like it doesn't stick.
But yeah, So with that track, I wrote it when I was starting therapy. So I was like, well, it's about 22, 23. And the main thing I was trying to work on is just pent up aggression. And as I've gotten like learn more about it, it's directly related to my relationship with my just growing up as a young boy with my father and my mum, or lack of a relationship with my father,
Mm.
and also just an unsafe, dysfunctional upbringing. So just constantly feeling unsafe, not having a good, safe father figure in the household, and just being in this constant state of fear and on edge. And as I got older into my early 20s, being in relationships, it manifested into this uncontrolled rage and anger, which was like a direct, I guess, a mirror of what I used to see with my father growing up, which was a man, a boy in a man's body that isn't in control of his nervous system and just reacts and gets angry and throws shit around. And I was yes, and my stepdad, and I was just like, I guess, repeating that same cycle. And because I was aware of it, I was like, yeah, I got to sort this shit out. I need to actually go see someone. Um, and then so during that process of healing that and like learning about, you know, um, just the traumas of being young and how we trap those and we don't talk about it and we hold it in, and especially as a young man, how much there's this the crazy stigma on never opening up, never showing those vulnerable sides of you. There's like a it's weak to be vulnerable, but being vulnerable is like one of the most courageous things you could do as a man, to say, I'm not I'm not in a good place. I'm in a bad place and I need to do something about it and I need help. Like that's one of the strongest things you could ever do. It takes so much courage to do that. And obviously with the indoctrination of this world we live in and society, it was like an opportunity for me to bring that to the forefront in the form of music and in the form of rap, and also singing, and an opportunity for me to document my experience through that, knowing that there's other people out there that are going through the same thing. Um, and and yeah, I guess it was just like a pure, that song Days of Grey was just a pure raw form of therapy for me. So on top of the therapy that I was already getting.
Double dose.
Yeah, the double whammy. But yeah, I guess like my big thing as I get older now and I learn more about who I am and what my values are, what it means to be a young man or a man, and the responsibilities that come with that. I'm now kind of like, no, this needs to be spoken about. I need to like relentlessly push this thing and to not be worried or scared about it, and to make it cool, make it trendy to talk about these things. And I notice and I see a shift of that already just with other artists that I listen to. Like there's a lot of artists out there that talk about their inner child and all these things, and it's actually becoming a lot more accepted. But when I wrote that, it was back in 2022. And yeah, it was just unpacking basically my traumas with my father, unhealed nervous systems of being around constant anger and the impact that that makes on a small young boy. And it was just like a safe place to release that. In my own way.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's
beautiful.
play it.
All right. Well, with that in mind, I will swap over and.
Hey, through the highs and the lows, I stay right on my runs, reciting these flows. Take breaks, make time for my soul. Putting mental health above all that nonsense and that pride that I hold. Mind spin around, no Kylie Minogue, lost out of that coast. So I had to readjust my sails, make way for the baggage that I held by the boatload. Give a fuck by the Bentley or Jag, spending my racks while I get in my bag. I've been working on my childhood self, trying to mend the relationship I had with my dad. Replacing that chaos with order, healing through generational trauma. Facing the pain in our veins that can board us to make the mistakes that our parents had taught us. But most of all, yeah, I got more gratitude. You won't find me moving lateral, adding up no collateral, working on nights where this music turned me to an animal. Yeah, and even though it rains, it pours. Never run away, always run straight through the storm. Stand tall, saying, stand tall through the rainfall. Dark clouds and days are gray. Stay true to the grave though. Hold on. Stand tall through the rainfall. Dark clouds and days are gray. Stay true to the grave though. Hold on.
Wow, Finn, that's just, I love listening to your music. Like, it's such a vibe. And I mentioned before that I love Drake. When I finally met Finn for the first time and listened to more of his music, I was like, you are literally like, you've replaced Drake for me, because you can sing and rap and your music's just such a vibe. I love it so much.
Yeah, who's playing guitar on that?
That's just a sample I found online. So I basically
Oh, wow.
I was just looking around for some samples, and I found that sample, and it was perfect for like the feeling I was trying to portray. I actually originally wrote that verse to a cover. So I did a cover of a hip hop group called Bliss and Esso. They're an Australian pop group, and so I did like the rap verse to a cover to that. And then that actual chorus I wrote at a writing camp with some friends. So it's to a completely different beat. And I remember really liking that chorus. And then when I was creating the sample and working in and producing like a basic beat in Logic, I found that sample and I knew that the verse went really well for it and the chorus. So that's when I just kind of put it together. And I wanted to when I made that or released that song, it was more about just showing the different aspects and sides of what I can do as an artist, instead of kind of just making the same type of hip hop and rap type of stuff. So it was a perfect opportunity to package it up and put it out, and have that, put that good message behind it as well.
I love it. And it's heartfelt.
So
it's
good.
visceral. There's a history to it. And I'm glad you, stepped up and shared that, because I think there's way more. I mean, by far too many men could identify with that whole experience. But these are the things that we need to start bringing to the surface and discussing by people that aren't going to sit there and relish in the damage and then pass it on. Because there's some artists that I've seen, Eminem's another example of that, where they're just spouting like filth. And some of that could be born out of their pain, and that's fine. But if they're looking towards healing, or if they're on a good path, or if they're just here to with anger and they just want to make money off of it. And you're like, fuck it, fuck you, fuck the world. Very different feel from your track. So good job.
Yeah, it's a beautiful balance of like acknowledging the pain, but standing tall through the rainfall,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
That's
yeah.
nice. It's like not wallowing in that
Yeah.
victim mentality and victim.
Yeah.
It's like it's such an infectious part of male psychology, and that I see as well, is like it's either you're too far into your masculine and you're emotionless and you're just like, really stoic and like not in tune with your emotions, or you're just a freaking super feminine bitch boy that is just doesn't have any like backbone or spine, and chooses to wallow in self-doubt and misery for attention. You know what I mean? Like going on. And we need these type of, I guess, tracks to remind us to like, it's cool to embrace your pain as a dude and what you've gone through, but don't let that define you. Like, what did you learn from that? What example did that create for you? And what are you going to carry forward for your friends or your future generations or whatever it be? Like, I remember after the gig, I spoke with a fella, I think in his mid 40s or something, and he said he really liked that song about generational trauma, and he was kind of just talking about, I'm still kind of trying to deal with that myself. So it's really cool to hear. So I guess just sparking those conversations more and having that making it a safe space for dudes to do that. That's what it's all about. It's just hopefully I can reach more people and keep promoting it and letting the music speak for itself.
Yeah. And I think this is where music becomes a form of alchemy, because we're able to alchemize these situations, these experiences in our life. And when you're able to, like, there's so much power in storytelling. And when you can tell the story again without identifying and attaching to the story, and then that being a lesson for someone else. Like, I love that. And that's what I love. Like, that's listening to that song. And like a lot of your songs, like it's a whole vibe. And it's like, so it's like the story. And then it's like, you know, when you watch a movie, you know, really, really well done movies and film, like when you watch them, you're like immersed in this world. It's like they put different filters over, and, you know, then you've got like the costumes and the set, and it's like creates this whole world. And it's like the same thing with the music, because it's like the music itself, but then and especially with you, Finn, like the rap and the vocals, like it just brings these like other layers to it. And then you've got the story that's being told. And it's like, just listening to that, like that 2 minutes, I was like, I was in another world. Like it just takes you somewhere else. Like, I love it.
I'm glad to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah, we create worlds. I love that.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
People behind the world analyze all the little elements of that world.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why, again, like, I just have so much like, there's just, I admire what you guys do so much, because there is so much that goes into it. Like, even just creating like the different levels of sound within just the backing music. And then there's your vocals. And then, you know, like with you, Taz, doing the loop station at the festival. And because I remember when you were asking, you was like, I don't know if I want to do the loop station or just do backing tracks. And I was like, look, I know it's more difficult doing loop station. It's more set up and all this, but I was like, I freaking love someone on a loop station, because I literally just watch the whole performance. I'm just in awe. And it's like watching you actually create the different levels of sound in real time. Like, it's just incredible what the final product becomes.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm still mapping out how I want my shows to look, whether I like with entwining the loop station and backing tracks. I think the one thing that I'm hesitant with the loops is that some like musos have said to me they can tell the sound quality of the loop station is clearly not as good as the backing track, so I would need to like refine that. But then again, you know, if we think about the general audience doesn't notice, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say,
I'm not performing for other musicians.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I was gonna say, like, that technical stuff, way over my head. Who cares? Yeah.
That's what I'm telling myself too.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's your song, Tess, that we've got queued up? What's the name of it?
Picking Dandelions.
Picking Dandelions.
It's actually also being used for the Living Free movie.
Amazing. Yeah, because I remember you performed this one. Yeah. And so what's the story behind this song?
This one, I remember I was just in this room, in this office, and I was like, it was daytime, and I was looking out in the garden, and I saw the dandelions. And I was like, it just came to me of like I was listening to the birds, looking at the green, looking at the dandelions, and I just I channeled into that cute sort of my cup of tea vibe of like, singing for the birdie, sweet, sweet honeybees. Like this just really sweet, cute vibe. And then like you'll hear it in song. But then I was like, wouldn't it be cool to just like switch it up and throw some words in there that's like completely unexpected, which you'll hear. And yeah, I was just like, at the time I was like, I want to lean more into speaking out. Oh, actually, I don't know if I want to give it away. Maybe we'll just like play this song.
Let's listen first. Yeah, let's listen to it. Yeah, I'm dying to listen to it again now, because now that you're like singing, I was like, oh, I loved this. Again, it's just like I was just in another world, like,
yeah, let's play. Yeah.
Singing for the birdie, sweet, sweet honeybees. honeybees buzzing while I'm picking dandelions for my cup of tea. They're calling them weeds, but I beg to differ, please. Don't listen to them, nature gives us medicine for free. I'm cozy in my bathroom, thinking about the assholes who try to infiltrate our minds and make us kinda mad. Though I know I block them out, keep community around me. They're kinda five creative minds, that's how my kind of crowd be. Singing for the birdies, singing for the birdies. Tweet, tweet, honeybee, tweet, tweet, honeybee. Singing for the journey, singing for the journey. We thrive in evergreen, thrive in evergreen. Singing for the birdies, tweet, tweet, honeybees buzzing while I'm picking dandelions for my cup of tea. Singing for the journey, lime and lemon trees, blessing me with courage, turning sour into sweet. The government is lying, listen to the dying. The one biggest regret is not living life more aligned. The children have been crying, boiling water rising. No longer will they suffer, time to bring darkness to light. I'm singing for the birds, singing for the birds. Tweet, tweet, honeybee, tweet, tweet, honeybee. Singing for the journey, singing for the journey. Thrive in evergreen, thrive in evergreen. Singing for the birds, singing for the birds. Tweet, tweet, honeybee, tweet, tweet, honeybee. Singing for the journey, singing for the journey. We thrive in evergreen, thrive in evergreen. Ooh,
Love it.
That's a vibe. I
Love
like
it. I know. That's what I was like, who can't get into this? So, okay, now get into what you were going to say about the song, because now that we've heard it, and I love it, like, you just throw it in, like, shit about the government and, like, bringing the darkness to light. I love that shit. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like in this era we live in the times we live in right now, we need more music that's like more lyrics specifically that are just like talking about, like, bringing to light, literally, metaphorically, this transition period that we're going through of the old system crumbling, the new system still hasn't been born yet, whatever that looks like, the age of Aquarius. I just wanted to, do a little FU to the government song, because
Because we need one of those, yeah.
I needed one of those, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just loved that contrast of, like, sounding cute and sweet, it's just my voice, innocent, gets people, to trust, and then it's like, boom.
Yeah.
Well packaged.
It's like, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's like counter and propaganda. It's like countering their stuff because they do the same thing. This is, it's obvious now, but maybe it's not to most people. But the song is catchy and all this stuff, and then they weave into it the little snake messages, and they even do weird, subliminal messaging and things like that. So answering back with something that's so important to speak truth, and not just in the the typical way of saying speak truth to power, but the vocalizing and calling the shot, so to speak. I think there's a power in that. You're literally, especially I think with your defined throat, and maybe people that don't have a defined throat, maybe it's not the same, but I feel like speaking it is powerful in form of manifesting. And yeah, these kind of topics, these kind of songs, I don't want too many people hearing these things. So there's not like, you're going to get picked up by a big record label and be like, yeah, the smash hit. If it's down with the government, it's going to be their version of down with the government, to where it's like total chaos and nihilism. But your song of like truth and hopefulness, especially the protecting the kids part and all that, like, yes, speak that out loud, let it reverberate in that frequency. This is where we're changing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to actually just bring that sort of Garden of Eden vibe actually to it. It's like, yeah, like this is what we're working towards, like singing with the birdies, thriving in evergreen, singing for the journey, just like embracing it all. And then at the end with the choir vibe, I just really wanted to sound big and just like everyone is uniting. Like that's the vibe. So
Yeah, I love it. And I've got a question too, because again, listening back, because I remember when you performed it, you'd sing it and then you'd like tell us to sing along like each line, and the song's written that way. So when you're writing a song like that, do you take the performance aspect into consideration, where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna, like, if I do this when I perform it, I can have people sing along? Or is that just the natural progression of how the song's written, and then you're like, oh cool, when I perform this I can get people to sing along?
usually, yeah, I just write the song not with the audience in mind.
Yeah.
For performing.
Yeah.
I can't remember when writing that song if perhaps I was like, oh cool, I'll just repeat it and then can do a call and response. I don't think so. I think I was just like, I was actually thinking more song structure wise, what's the word, like strategically, of like a chorus structure. It's like repetition is popular to have a catchy song, so that's kind of what I was feeling more into. But it made sense completely to do a call and response for that song, and it is really important as for live performances to have audience interaction.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you get, like, that song's literally going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the night now. I'll probably wake up singing it as well, because it's just like, that's like, and what's your other Ferris wheel? I remember recently, I was just like, I literally will just hear, like, so, like in my playlist, like it'll just come up on like randomly, and like, you know, sometimes you just don't listen to every song, like you want to listen to certain songs, and if I just hear the first like 15 seconds of your song Ferris wheel, it's stuck in my head for the rest of the day. And I messaged you one day and I was like, good job on Ferris wheel, like I just hear the first few seconds and it's stuck in my head literally all day.
Yay, job well done.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we've got some questions on that too, because we were having a bit of a joke in the car the other day. I don't even know what we were talking about, but I just turned to Isaac real serious and I said, because babe, everyone's got their head stuck up their ass. And I just started like speaking the lyrics like really like seriously to him. And then he was like, why the Ferris wheel? And I was like, well, I guess kind of like stuck on a merry-go-round. And I was like, oh no, but it's like get to the top of the Ferris wheel. So what was the thought behind those? Like, how did that song come to you, and why the Ferris wheel in particular?
Good question. It's been a while.
It's like gone round in circles, right?
Yeah, the feeling of why I wrote it was literally, it was the hamster wheel. It was like,
okay. Yeah.
It was like, I'm trying to move forward and I'm going nowhere. Like I'm just like chasing my tail, you know, chasing my tail for a meal.
And I guess you can never
I think Ferris wheel just like dropped in, you know, like the words Ferris wheel. I was like, oh, let's play with this, you know. But it was the wheel of rat race.
You can never make it to the top of a Ferris wheel, I guess.
Yeah, because you go back down straight away. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, the cycles of life. Just like, I remember the reason I was writing it was because it was actually, I think, to do with like social media, how like I'm putting myself out there and no one cares. Like no one gives a fuck what I'm saying. Like everyone's just in their own world, their own heads. Like most people don't even have the freaking time capacity to like watch the entire video.
Yeah.
You know,
attention span.
Attention span. Yeah. And I was literally feeling like, what's the point? Like, what is the point of me creating my music? It was actually specific about what is the point me having like making music, being an artist, when no one's like rooting for me, like really no one's rooting for me. Like it's like I am the one that has to make the music, share it, promote it, do all the things, invest money into it. It's all me. And like, it's kind of like is it the saying, like an echo chamber of like, am I just doing this for no reason type thing?
Yeah.
I think the algorithm played a part. Like, I think I might have like put a lot of effort into maybe a reel or a story, and like the algorithm didn't want to show it to many people. And I was like, fuck this. Like, what's
Yeah.
Well,
I definitely feel that. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that actually brings up a point. Like it's tied to something that I think maybe Finn said earlier, like just about in terms of your art. It's like you make the art and like you put it out to people, and then it kind of like takes on this life of its own. And that was the example I was thinking about, was with like reels that go viral, like things that go viral on social media. If you ask like everyone that had something that went viral, they always say like, I never thought that was going to go viral. Like I've put so much more effort into like videos and like posts and like, you know, people see them, but whatever. And then it's the one that they just throw up that like, it's just like whatever, or they just throw it up and don't think anything of it, that it's that great. And it takes on this life of its own. And it's almost like, it's that similar thing where you can create, but it's like how it resonates for people is when it just like, it takes on this life of its own.
100%.
Yeah, it's this like balance of creating for the sake of it and then creating out of like wanting success with it, and like wanting validation, wanting the stats, wanting the numbers. Like that is what kills the art.
100%.
And it's really easy to get sucked up in that, and our whole algorithm thing of like how many likes, how many views, how many shares, whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally coming back to like making shit up. Like the algorithm is not real. Like it's just numbers on a screen. It's just words on a screen. But like what makes small independent artists like us keep going is literally just like the root, like the small amount of people that are just like, oh, your music, like I cried watching that. I got goosebumps watching that. Or like, this helped me through a dark time. Or this got me dancing. This made my day. Whatever. Like, yeah, as much as it is like, we can't rely on external validation, it really helps at the same time. Like the whole point of like, coming back to, why I wrote Ferris Wheel, of like, what's the point if no one cares?
Yeah.
That balance of like, I need to not care, I need to not expect, but like at the same time, the reason I'm sharing my art is it needs to resonate and land, and having that feedback is important. So
yeah, totally. Especially when you are doing it, like Finn said, like it kind of is like your job. And it's like, it's fine if you just want to create music just because you love creating music, but you have work, like doing something that you love, and like that's your, like how you earn a living, so to speak. It's like, great. But when you kind of do want that to be like your main form of what you put into the world, you do kind of need that. It is that balance, because it's like you need to create for you, but also you want people to enjoy it, you know, because
entrepreneurship, like it's being
yeah, literally.
Yeah. And you got to be able to sell it. And that's the marketing thing too. Working with others is I find like that's kind of the, I mean, it could be a greener pastures scenario where, because there are people that can do it themselves and they reach massive success and their whole business has like 2 employees, 3 employees, something like that. But I think it is, by and large, it's a team sport. And that's where the big music establishment kind of has definitely a massive advantage, because they have a team, you know,
Of course, yeah.
You know, you're the singer, you sing the song, they have a songwriter, they have a producer, they have all this stuff stacked.
Yeah, they have a manager, they have like, you know, people doing marketing and promotions. Like they literally have someone to do everything. But
that's why I love the idea of like independent artist collabs, the people the artists that remixed yours into a, you know, whatever they'd all have to go and find that track if it's on
Yeah.
Spotify. But
She released the remix of
Yeah.
that song. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm curious.
Oh, you talking about Like a Phoenix?
yeah.
Oh, she was just DJing it for her it was like the Lionsgate event in like America.
Also, she just played it live and mixed it, but she hasn't actually like released.
No,
So
she didn't.
I'm dying to hear. Yeah, I'm dying to hear what she did with it.
You know what? I was ages ago. I was really wanting to find a DJ or an electronic producer more so to actually remix that song. Like, feel like it has it's such good potential to make a remix that's more like even more upbeat and dancey.
Yeah,
Like, I wanted someone to do it, but I haven't yet found someone. Definitely on the bucket list to find someone to do that. But,
Reach out to that chick again. She already loves the song. Just like, hey.
if she's just DJing. I don't know if
Oh, she doesn't actually. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, love. Did you want to finish your
I
thought?
have no idea. But no, like the collaboration. So what you're talking about, Finn, with the do you call it a writing camp or production camp or?
Yeah, writing camps. Have you never heard of them before?
I've
You really
no-
have no idea.
Is it like you go someplace
Yeah.
and there's other artists and musicians sitting around?
Yeah.
And they like.
It's like a
Is there a
vacation.
campfire or is camp just like a?
No, it's nothing to do with camp, but basically just a bunch of creative nerds getting together and making music. So it's usually
I
multiple.
think they do that with videos as well for like Instagram and stuff because I'm over here doing stuff by myself. I'm like, it'd be nice to have other people to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, for skits.
No, that's it. It's more like I think there was 2 producers. I mean, 3 producers, and then there was about between 6 and 12 artists just came in and out of the session. So I remember that day I did I think I did 4 or 5 tracks on that day, like different like pockets. So one beat I'm like rapping on like a rap punky kind of thing, and I'm just rapping like more braggadocious, fun, good like vibe. And then next minute I'm like doing a more soulful song with a heartfelt message, and then 2 seconds later we're rapping over some weird like spacey rap beat, and we made a song called like Space Cowboys, and the whole like content is just silly and
That was a
experimental.
good song. I think you played that for me.
It was all right. It's fun.
It was
fun. It was
cool.
definitely fun
I
and
think
quirky.
when I heard it, I was like, that's worthy of being released.
Yeah, well, I think the very first line on my verse was like, "This is how it feels to get Toppy in a spaceship." So it's like not really the kind of song I want to just. I mean, I could
fun.
if I'm feeling fun and silly, but it was just
Yeah. Well, that's how all these big artists do it, though. Like I've heard stories from he's the guy that played Ray Charles in that movie. Black guy, obviously.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. You know, he's talking early on. Like I forget how early on, but there's some artists that are huge now that were just coming in there and just chilling. Like, oh yeah, this guy's got a track probably similar to how NWA started, and they got the Snoop Dogg in that movie when he came in. He's just a young guy, so it does happen like that. And there's certain hot pocket areas where they that's like talent just lands and like starts creating traction. That's the other thing too, is what it is about these areas where there's the ability to make traction to it. And it's not just the fact that there's money and there's like people there that can blow you up. I don't know, just something about these places that have momentum. Like Nashville is kind of like that, So, but,
Yeah, there are definitely like hot spots for music. Like, and everyone knows that. Like, like, oh yeah, if you go to this area, like they got mad jazz clubs and stuff. Like you definitely have those pockets. And it is really all about that. Like, I mean, it's like that with let's call it any entrepreneurial venture, because what you guys do is that, like what we do is that. And it's really about like it's not even about finding your niche, because we always hear about niche. You've got to find your niche. It's just about finding your people. Do you know what I mean? Like finding your place, like finding where people value what you have to offer. And, I was just talking to someone about this today. Like, I think then, and this also speaks to what you were speaking about earlier before, Tess, about like we put all this pressure on ourselves and we doubt ourselves and like, well, if I'm going to do this, like I've got to do it right and I've got to be up here. And it's like, if you help one person or if you help 10 people, like that's your sphere of influence doesn't have to be massive to start with. It might get there and it might never. Like it's fine, but it's like just start somewhere, because that's what I found with my work is like, even just like, you know, the clients I'm working with at the moment, like they're so appreciative. One client in particular is just loving her sessions and she's getting so much out of it. I'm just like, oh my God, that brings me so much fulfillment where I'm just like, I just work with one client a week and I'm happy, you know, like I'm working with more at the moment, which is awesome. But it's like, yeah, it's just like being grateful for the people that you do reach with whatever it is that you do.
Yeah. And we forget that like, you know, a video online, oh, it only got 100 views. 100 people in a room is very successful if you're hosting an event, you know, like for the small indie artist anyway, or small speaker, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got 100 views. Actually, that's 100 eyes on my content.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, just that one comment that you could receive, like one piece of feedback that like, just gave me goosebumps. It's like, that's it. I'm done. All I needed to do, honestly, like,
I can retire now.
Well, who came up with that concept where they're talking about the 1,000 true fans? Like you can make a really solid business with 1,000 true fans, you know, and obviously if you could do 1,000, you could do multiple thousands, but just getting to that point can be kind of difficult. But like you said, 100 people at that one, you know, with that one video came by and saw it, you know, and it can be, an inspirational thing that you said or the song. And then what I'm finding, like with our podcast and the episodes we put out and the reels and stuff, people can always come back later and hear it and see the same message. Cause I'm looking at our website and tracking organic reach of people coming in because I haven't started ads before today, but, what was it 275 people a week on average, or 225 people a week on average are finding their way to the website. I have no idea where they're coming from. Sometimes like these people ordering in like New Zealand or somewhere Western Australia, I've never met them and I'm just super grateful for that, but I'm just like, that's incredible. And every song that you put out, every reel that you put out, every like touch point of inspiration and like showing your personality, at some point one more person can come by and find that and then find your music and then save it to their playlist, you know, and it's just a matter of being consistent and keeping that positivity.
Yeah. It's a ripple effect. Like
I was just going to say that, a ripple effect or a domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it compounds, you know,
totally.
It's just like Jim Rohn, awesome guy to listen to. He's old school, but awesome guy to listen to on YouTube. You can find all of his videos, but he's so inspirational and he's so on point. He talks about when you're pumping, there's an old hand pump well for people that haven't experienced this. It's perfect allegory or metaphor. But to start it, you have to create suction and you're pumping and there's nothing coming out of the well. And they usually put these like campgrounds and stuff.
What's this a metaphor for exactly?
For how much work you have to put into it. You have to listen
just
to the
clarifying.
whole thing.
Sounds like it was getting a bit dirty.
No, you're pumping the handle on a well. You have to pump it. The water's probably hundreds of feet down on the ground. And as you might pump it 100 times before you even get a trickle. And then you keep pumping it and you get more of a trickle. And then all of a sudden it's just whoosh, like fills up your bucket in one pump.
Yeah.
So
you don't know where it's going to come from.
Yeah. You don't know when it's going to hit. Yeah.
Like, you keep showing up and then one day it's like, oh, my hard work paid off. I thought it was never going to because it didn't feel like it during the process, you know?
Yeah.
But the other side of that is if you stop pumping and then you start pumping again, you got to start over. And I think there is something to that where it's like, don't get discouraged. Don't let your foot off the gas. Keep momentum. You don't know how much is building, how much energy is building. But if you stop and then come back to it, like you just got to have faith and just keep moving forward.
That's 100% a thing. And I think it also depends on like the space, like the space of time that you've stopped for. But that totally happened with me in my business where like I first kind of, you know, I did my Site K training and then I started seeing like clients for Site K. And then I just like lost all momentum and like I wasn't, you know, I'm not great at self-promotion. Like even now, like I've got a workshop coming up and there's been a couple of times on the podcast where Isaac's brought it up and I'm just like, oh yeah, I've got a workshop. Like I'm just so bad at self-promotion, but, and then I lost all momentum but then I started getting more into human design and learning that. And then I kind of just fell into that and people asked me for readings. And then I kind of had this like period of where I was just doing human design readings and then that lost momentum. And each time I stopped, I literally had to like start over again. But I mean, that's the journey I think most entrepreneurs will relate
100%.
to, is like,
Journey is everything.
yeah. And you just like you said, Tess, you're just making shit up as you go. Like, you're just finding your way as you go. And that's part of the process, is like stumbling and falling and stopping and restarting. And then, you know, you finally carve that path for yourself. And then, you know, once you kind of get into that groove, that's when, you know, like we're talking about, is like you can just build on it and just like continue. It's just consistency and like building, like always just like riding that momentum. And also knowing, I think it's important to like differentiate between like momentum and pushing, because I think a lot of people get stuck in like the pushing and then that's when they kind of burn out, or it's just like they're pushing shit uphill because it's starting to, you know, become like, okay, this isn't like natural momentum. It's like this, I got to go, I got to do, can't stop. So, because I think it is important too, to like also have those, you know, those little lulls where you kind of do need to take a step back and reflect, and like, especially after making mistakes and stuff, like, okay, well, what's not working? And, you know, how do we make it better? And thank God I'm with a manifesting generator, because he's great at that and finding
the song
most
in my
efficient
head
way to do things.
that plays. It's like a Key and Peele skit. There's one where they made fun of like, it's like the party don't stop and the party don't stop and the party don't stop, and it just keeps looping and the party don't stop. It's like sometimes you can get into that zone, but it's like you definitely don't want to reach burnout. So, and you don't want to like start snorting rails of cocaine to keep going. Like, you want to be able to sustain this. So that brings me to my topic. We can kind of, you know, riff on this for a little bit towards the end. What keeps your fire going?
Oh,
For me, I think it's more attached to like just legacy and leaving something important behind. And like, what will I be remembered as? Like, yeah, I always go back to the like laying on my deathbed analogy, like when I'm literally about to die and I'm like thinking about my life and what did I do and what kind of man what did I leave behind? What are my future generations, my future grandkids, kids going to think? Like, are they going to have the opportunity to listen to an old, I don't know, iPhone 12 and listen to my music and understand what was he about? Like, what trials and tribulations did he face? What did he stand for? For me, that's kind of where what keeps me going with music. And I think, yeah, just being of service doesn't always have to be through music as well. I think just being someone that was able to, like, what did I do with my influence? Like, at the moment, I don't have a whole lot. Like, I work a regular job and I do music, but like, I know when I do start entering the space of having a lot more financial abundance, like, I'm going to do some really cool shit with that money. Like, I'm going to give back to communities. I'm going to try and make some people's quality of life better. Like, for me, that's just like what would make me feel rich. Like, the idea of having a fucking heaps of cool cars or mansions don't interest me the slightest. Like, I can have the most basic shit, but as long as I'm working on projects, like whether it's music or even physical projects that are making some difference in someone's life, like that value exchange, like that's what makes me feel alive and rich. So I guess for me, it's a combination between what am I going to leave behind, who am I going to be remembered as, and then also, how did I maximize my time on this earth doing good.
Love it. That's a hard one to. Yeah, I know that's a hard act to follow, Tess.
yeah. Let's just cut it there.
She just wants to pick dandelions.
It's just like ditto. Say what you say.
Yeah, I think I just keep coming back to, like, as cliche as it is, authenticity, and like the more I can inspire others to truly be themselves, follow what lights them up through living by example, by just like making shit up, by making songs, living a life of joy and love and expressing my true self as much as possible, being vulnerable. The more I think about it, it's like the most fulfilling thing for me is being an invitation for someone else to be them true self, be their true selves, and peel back the layers of conditioning of, you know, what they've been told to be, told to do. Yeah, and bring about, like, yeah, inspire people to live the life that they want to live by doing it myself. And including my music, like, just, I love that my art is timeless, by meaning, like, when I die, my music will still, like, people will still have access to my music. So, like, the art lives on. And so, yeah, so what lights my fire is the same thing about being on my deathbed of, like, fuck. Oh, sorry. If I don't,
Sure, it's fine.
if I don't release these songs, like, I'm just going to have major regret. Like, these songs I know they're good enough to be shared. And so that is enough for me to make it happen.
Yeah.
And all of these little obstacles that I put in my own way, that, you know, cutting off that momentum and the discipline is the main thing. That's just like, yeah, discipline is the thing that's I'm working on. But what lights my fire behind that is yeah, like, what's that saying? It's like about regret. There's a saying about regret. Like, if you
don't regret the shots you don't take. No.
Yeah, or just, I don't know. It's just reversing psychology, thinking about it.
Pain of regret, is that the one?
Say that again. Cut off.
You're gonna feel the pain of discipline or the pain of regret?
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, it's just like, I'd rather not feel the pain of regret on my deathbed that I did not do this.
Yeah.
That I did not make and share my music. So yeah.
That's good.
Love it.
And how about this? This just popped into my head while you were saying that. And I was like, this is so Tess. Every day you are a gift, and every day you get to open it.
Whoa.
Tessa's going to go and write a song about that now.
Came through. If it comes through on this show, I don't own it. Like, y'all run with it. Do what you want.
But give them 10% royalties at least.
I actually love that. That's really landing. Thank you.
I love it. Now, guys, I can't believe I didn't get into this earlier because it was literally on my mental list of things I wanted to talk about, but we've got a little bit of time here still. Do you want to share for our audience first how you guys met? Because when I met you guys, you were already together, but you've actually been together just a little longer than Isaac and I. So I think for you guys, like 2.5 years-ish, and we're about 2.
3.
It's coming up to 3.
So about 2.5, yeah. And yeah, and it's just funny because, like, when I met you guys, I was like, oh yeah, of course, like, they're both music artists and, like, they're together. But like, was that something, like, is that, because I don't know, like, I've never, like, identified as a music artist. So, and I've never actually, it's really interesting, I've never been attracted to, even when I was a singer, I was never attracted to, like, guys that, like, did music. I don't know why. But yeah, like, was that something that attracted you to each other? Was that musical connection? Or was it purely like you were just attracted to each other and then, like, the music was a bonus?
Nah, I'm a sucker for the musos.
Yeah.
Sucker for the
And also when we met, I had really luscious long hair. And
What?
Yeah,
I
we
wanna see
looked this
this.
up, remember?
when we actually first met, we met at Splendor in the Mud 2022, I think.
2022, yeah.
But,
I was you
Wait, did you
guys.
say
You
Splendor?
at Splendor in the Mud.
Do the whole thing, but I had a friend that was working there, and he had a food truck, and he, like, snuck me in because I really wanted to see oh my god, I can't even remember his name, the rapper.
Tyler, the creator,
Who? No,
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
I really wanted to see Jack Harlow. By the time it took me to, like, get in and get past security and then my mate had to come and find me, and then he took me up, I literally, like, was running to the stage, and he was just like, it was his last song was Glamorous, and he's like R-O-U-S, boom, and then it ended, and I was like,
Oh.
trekking through the mud, like, it was horrendous. So I wasn't there for the whole thing. there for like a couple of hours, and it was just
That's the worst story ever.
it was so disappointing. I was like,
That's
fuck.
so unsatisfying.
To be fair, his set was decent. Like he was a good good enough rapper to keep up the whole time. But not many people knew who Jack Harlow was. So like me and my mate Ronnie were just like yelling his rap lyrics, but we were like the only people that knew the words.
I knew his words.
Yeah, but
Not
like
all of
you just
them,
know little
just
bits and bobs,
yeah,
you
the
know.
popular ones.
Whereas me and Ronnie were
Obsessed with him at that time because that's kind of when he first sort of came up, and like I just thought everyone like we loved him, and so I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be there, and then I just got the last freaking line.
Yeah, we were both working at Splendor. I was working for Byron Bay Brewery
Mhm.
as a promo girl, and
I was a traffic controller.
traffic controller.
So,
I wasn't attracted to him at all. It wasn't love at first sight.
I was a little bit like chubbier, a little bit more chub around my neck, and I had long hair.
His
Looked a
hair,
little bit
you
like
know,
a Mexican homeless dude.
Get you to send us a photo.
taller than his bump.
Should we do a side by side for the episode image? Like,
Yes, do it.
Hanging out once, and you mentioned, I was like, show
I
me.
must have
and you
erased it from my mind. I
You
was like,
showed us, and I was like, you
scrub
look
that.
so different. Like, it's like, it was so long.
Yeah. So
Looked like a little samurai.
I mean, at the time, I was in a relationship and I was living up in Mackay. And so I met Tess through one of my friends I was working with because he recognized her and her friend at the bus.
We
and
can
were-
thank him.
Yeah, pretty much.
for
And then, I
us
mean,
meeting.
I thought Tess was cute, but I was like, I'm in a relationship anyway. I'm a loyal dude. Like, I'm not paying her any mind. But like, yes, you're
You
really
said
cute.
he said to his friend, "Oh, she's danger."
I said,
she's
yeah,
dangerous.
because she reminded me of like the girl I lost my virginity to. So instantly my brain was like, obviously she's really cute, and I was like, she's danger. Like, I don't want too much time talking to her because if it's temptation, I'm in a relationship. I don't want to be in that situation.
Literally, like within like the first 2 lines of him saying hi to me, he mentions his girlfriend. Like,
Okay, I know you're in a relationship.
hey, I love my girlfriend. Like literally, I'm not even joking. Like I'm pretty sure you were like,
I was
hey, yeah, I'm from Mackay. I love my girlfriend. Like he was also doing this. He was doing this fucking
we're doing
Californian surfer dude accent the entire time.
the whole time. So Tess actually thought I was from California or something. 'cause I
He
was-
never dropped his accent.
yeah.
I never.
Open throat. He's got an open throat in human design, and he's freaking great at accents.
Basically, like we're getting a little bit off topic, but basically she thought I was Californian. I added her on Instagram. She added me on Instagram, and
And I heard his voice for the first time on an Instagram video.
Did you
I was like, "What, bro? It's Australian!" Like,
and then she realized I was a rapper. I realized she was a muso.
yeah.
A bit before, like we had like this process. Me and my partner at the time broke up. I moved back down to Brisbane, and then I invited Tess to a gig. And I was performing at. I was at a.
So we met at Splendor, and then 4 months later, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months later,
Yeah.
we
We meet at I invited her to a gig I was performing at. It was a Afro beats. It was on a cruise ship. It's like Afro beats, R&B, and hip hop. You
a boat party.
Boat
He was
party.
performing on a boat party.
Yeah.
Ben, I would invite to that event.
Yeah, it was fun.
Next time the boys are putting one on, we'll have to do it for sure.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
But yeah, Tess tagged along, and like I was like obviously fresh out of a relationship. So we were kind of just like friends. It was just like, yeah, just tag along just as mates, and then
I genuinely did not think, like, I was not going on that boat being like, oh, I'm going to get with him. Like,
but it was with my
but he was the most attractive one on the boat.
yeah,
And I
with
just
my-
kept like,
with my
I kept like side eyeing me like, where's Finn? Like,
do that?
prowess.
what'd you say, Isaac?
Do that surfer accent again.
Yeah.
But it wasn't love at first sight with Isaac and I either. When we met in this online community group, his profile picture, this little thumbnail image was like him with no beard. I do not do guys with no beards. Like I'm just beard is like a prerequisite. They got
Now you have to show that. You have to show the photo of Isaac too on the.
It's an old photo, but he had no beard and he was wearing this checkered shirt, which he still hasn't. It's one of my least favorite shirts. And he just looked like this old 40-year-old dad. Like I was just like, oh, this guy's like cool. Like he was funny in the chat and stuff, but I was like, oh, he's like a nice little old married man.
I bought that
dad,
shirt
like...
at a hardware store.
And and then and like we're communicating in the group chat just over text more so. And like I thought he was really funny and he launched his podcast. I listened to his first podcast episode and whatever. And then it wasn't until like they changed the group a little bit and then there was like all these subsections and then you could introduce yourself and then he posted a video introducing himself and I saw a beard, I heard American accent, I was like, that's Isaac? I was like, hello, Isaac. So
100%.
yeah, I feel the not love. I don't think love at first sight is a real thing anyway. Some people claim that it is, but I've never really truly believed in that.
I think that's lust at first sight.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, I agree.
Which, is temporary.
Yeah. We met at a boat party. We went to the after party in the city. And then, my ethnic prowess was just too much for her to run.
Sparks were flying.
Yeah, it was good fun. We had a lot of chemistry and then, that's kind of where it all happened. And then
I know he could cook and then it was
and then she was like, he's a keeper.
Game over. Yeah. I remember you showing me making an eggs benny.
Oh, yeah.
With the spinach and the...
Yeah, I showed you how to do eggs benny. And then do you remember when you...
Not how to, but you were making it for me.
Yeah. Well, I realized very quickly that Tess wasn't much of a cook.
Oh my God.
When I saw her cutting cherry tomatoes on a kitchen bench without a chopping board. And I was just like, coming from my...
I think it was with a butter knife.
Yeah, with a butter knife. And coming from my chef...
No. It was on a plate. It was on a plate with a butter knife. It wasn't on the bench. It wasn't raw dog.
That marble bench top.
The opposite. Like he'll literally butter something with like the sharpest knife to cut something. It's not like
I do that sometimes.
Sometimes I do it with a fork. I've buttered toast with a fork.
Honestly.
You gotta
I remember one night, me and Finn
We're just making shit up.
cook you guys a meal, and it'll be the best feast of your life, I reckon, because both Finn and I can cook individually. But
I'm ready.
Yes, it's like I'm there for it.
I'm there. Date and time.
We'll have to do a cook up.
Or should we off? Should Finn and I verse each other in the
No.
because you'll be both.
Yeah, go on. It's up to you.
No, I mean, I'm always down to cook, but it'll be good because we can enjoy each other's food afterwards. I'm all for a little competition, but
can do that.
But we're all for a little competition, but really we just want to eat the food.
Right? Yeah. 100%.
Me and Isaac we'll just be the judges. We'll just hold up the cards.
Cocktails. Well, some recipes for
Some
cocktails.
matcha cocktails.
Isaac's got some pretty gnarly cocktail stories.
I'll follow a recipe.
He experimented with being a mixologist at one point, and I'm really glad that didn't pan out for him.
Created something called the Lion's Den.
Oh,
What was in it?
Oh, there was gin, there was vermouth, there was
gross.
port, there was vodka. I think.
Disgusting. Oh my God.
Taste. But I was 21, so it was like, what did I know back then? That's the first, that's a legal drinking age in the States. So
yeah, at 21, you're just like, oh, this is making me drunk. Nice.
I put vermouth in it like an idiot. This is delicious.
It's not them gypsies.
I literally, this is gonna. Never mind. I've given you guys enough ammo to rail on me for months. I won't keep adding to it.
Yeah, I guess so much. But anyway, we digress. But to nicely wrap this up, well, first of all, actually, before we wrap up, the song you guys have done together. What are you landing on? The journey is everything, or the journey? The journey is everything.
I feel like the journey is everything.
Yeah, I agree. Because the journey is everything. And love you guys. I love that song. I remember when we heard it for the first time, before you performed at the Living Free Festival, and it was so beautiful. Like you guys together, finesse, when two become one, they become finesse. And, which I love how well you're when you guys told us that name, I was like, it's so perfect. And I was like, what would Isaac and I be? It would either be Azak or Azak, or it would be
Alexa.
Ale-
I like. It's like
Sack, like a lick.
it's like a Scottish person saying "I lick sack."
Alexa.
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 How's it just? It's just not going to work.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Isaac.
I guess we're lucky in that department.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, you guys got real lucky. But are you guys going to release that song? Because I've been bugging you about it for months now.
I've been bugging him.
You've just got to finalize the artwork, which it's like 90% there, and then just put it out.
I really wanted that song out this year.
It'll come back this year.
Yeah.
Probably just it'll be.
Well, guys, it's like, just so you know, there's like 6 weeks left of this year. So chop. Let's get on.
It's gonna be probably.
Hey, guys, I should be your manager. I'd like, come on, we've got a deadline. This needs to get going.
We need that.
Yeah.
We need the mastermind thing. So like me talking to y'all has inspired me. We're inspiring you. Like we need to do more of this stuff more often.
You just need to release that song because it's amazing.
I agree.
Well, it's definitely coming out this year. What date wise? Don't know. Probably second last week. Very last week.
Well, I love it. So what's on the horizon? I know that you're going off into a new venture, Finn, which is super exciting.
Yep, moving to Bali. So it's all happening. So we're gonna be working, selling villas, and
You still going to work on your music while you're there?
1,000%. I'm gonna have more time actually to do music. You know, like I'm not gonna be locked into the 8:30 till 6 o'clock schedule that I'm locked into here in the rat race. So I'll be working hard, but I'll also have more time free where I can just have couple of days here and there to just only do music. I'll have an opportunity to have a better routine. I won't have to always be somewhere at a certain hour of the morning. So I'll be able to get a good routine, get some good discipline, get fit, and then just be more consistent with music. I'm going to be surrounded by paradise. So lots of places to film content. I reckon I'll just get a tripod, get my iPhone, just set up some spots and just chop up, make content all the time. So that's my intentions. Yeah. Not only just work and try and build some wealth, but to also, keep more active with the music. I'll be able to have more hours in the day free to, spend more time on what I love. So.
Amazing.
Yeah. I want to get a bunch of our listeners to go and buy up all the villas, and we'll just create a natural AF village in Bali.
Oh, that would be
awesome.
Definitely, dude. We can retreats there, everything.
Oh, yeah. All right. Start manifesting that. Put that on the board.
And what about you, Tess? You going to be far behind him, or you're not? You're gonna suss it out first.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna suss it out, feel the land first, just visit and then feel it out. But the idea excites me of moving there and starting a new venture and it will force me really to go hard with my music and other ventures that are online. Because I won't have that crutch of I can just take this casual job here and casual job there. So I think it'll be a nice little nudge, and
it's
leave.
It's a really interesting time, I'm noticing, and knowing that we're in a collective 9 year. And we're moving, this time of year is when the one energy starts to come in. And I just said this the other night, I'm noticing a lot of people are making shifts. Like lots of people I've noticed are leaving. They're leaving their jobs. They're leaving relationships. They're leaving certain situations. And then there's lots of people starting these new things. And usually it kind of goes hand in glove. And it's just really interesting knowing that it's this one energy coming through. And I know you and I have talked a lot about this, Tess, over this whole year, really, about, these things, these situations coming into our fields that do kind of like push us into the direction that we're meant to be going when we're, like you said earlier, getting in our own way too much and we're not stepping into what we're meant to be stepping into. And life has a way of doing that where you're just like, oh, I'm just maybe not yet. I'll just wait. And you do that long enough. And like the universe will start by kind of like tapping you on the shoulder and you don't listen. And then it's like, you know, it might push you over and you just like get back up and you're like, oh, I'm just not going to listen to that. And then I heard this told by someone, I can't remember who it was on a podcast I was listening to, but they said, but then it'll throw you a brick through the window
Truck.
your attention, but when you actually look at it, it's actually a gift. Like he was talking about, like it's a gift, but it's like the universe will tie a brick to it, throw it through your window to get your attention, but it's actually a gift that's being given to you. And I think, yeah, it's really interesting to see this time that this seems to be happening collectively. It really excites me.
It is really exciting. It feels like we're in exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I feel like that kind of needed to happen. Some big drastic change for Finn in order to really just leap out of that 9-to-5 job, you know?
Yeah.
Just like, just get handed this, like, okay, I need to take this opportunity. Yeah. It's, you know, out of the country, like, it's now or never, like, you know?
And I was
you were wanting to leave.
I was already jaded and looking at ways I can try and escape the rat race and, you know, drop down to part-time, do more gigs and then work on like side businesses and actually commit to one thing. But yeah, it's just...
We were going to do some... Hard.
Oh, it's just hard in you know, the current state of the world and with where Australia is trying to make it in the race. Like you've really got to be proactive and maximize your time, you know, investing in your business or your goals or your avenues of income. Like it's you know, I was working 45 hours a week and then I was spending like 10, 15 hours a week on music and other like ways of making money, and it's just not sufficient working those 60, 70 plus hours a week.
Especially for projectors, because Finn's also a projector. Oh my God, this is the first time I've ever had like the projectors have outnumbered the manifesting generator. We've been interviewing a lot of manifesting generators recently, and I'm just like along for the ride of the man gen conversation because we just go everywhere. So yeah, I just realized for projectors.
Protected trifecta.
Yeah, especially for projectors, we are not designed to work like that, like 40 hours a week and then trying to do a side hustle, and yeah, that's just going to lead to not just burnout, but just complete unfulfillment. Like it's so unfulfilling to live like that.
1000%, yeah. And with my personality type as well, I'm an ENTP or whatever it is, so I'm more built for entrepreneurial jobs or innovative things where I'm like, you know, just innovating type of work and jobs. Like having a boss and stuff isn't like traditionally really good for like my personality type as well. Like just being more free spirited.
Yeah.
Being able to control my hours and flow freely is, yeah.
Well, also you have and you also have a defined center in human design, and that also with a defined will center, you like to be in control of your resources. So whether that's your work, your money, whatever, that's going to be important to you. So yeah, interesting. So guys, where can people find you and listen to your music? Because obviously we highly recommend they go and listen to it because it's awesome and they got a bit of a taste here. So where can they find each of you?
I'm on all socials at Tessa Wilde Music, and Wilde is spelled WILDE. Tessa Wilde Music. And
you can find me on Spotify at YV, and it's spelled Y.V. And then on Instagram, you can find me at YV Music, which is Y.V.
Too easy.
Links are in the show notes.
Yeah.
And we'll have this out as well on the reels once we pop this episode. This is going to be the last episode for the year.
Yeah, this is our last episode for 2025, guys. So thanks so much for going out with a bang with us. This was so much fun.
Yeah. Track for the new year.
Yeah.
In 2026, we're going to be popping bottles to some YV and some Tess music up on the natural AF dance floor. I don't know where that's going to be right now, but
Definitely
Manifest.
expect a lot more music to be released in the coming year or two.
Oh,
We're going to hold you to that. I'm going to clip that. I'm just going to send it to you. Like,
Okay, do
Every
it.
week.
we'll just auto send it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys. I just want to say too, like, you are both such an inspiration. Like, I am truly blown away. You know, age is just a number, but there are definitely certain like developmental stages that we're at certain points in life. And I just think back to when I was your ages. Tess, you're like what, 10 years younger than me. Finn, you're like 7 or 8 or something. And I just look back to where I was when I was your ages, and I'm just so impressed with you guys and where you're at and your level of consciousness and just what you're putting into the world and how you are of service to others. And you're both just such beautiful people. Obviously, we love you dearly. Like, we love hanging out with you guys. It's always such a blast. And yeah, I'm just so glad that we get to share you with our audience and everyone else that we know.
Thank
Thanks
you so much. Back at you.
Yeah, likewise.
It's been a pleasure, and it's been really, really inspiring as well for me.
100% seeing you guys do your thing too. Like, yeah, obviously being stuck in the rat race and for a long time, you know, being convincing myself that this is what I've got to do to get a leg up, and then like watching you guys just relentlessly just do your own thing and have the courage to run your own business and do podcasts. It's awesome to see. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Love you guys.
take care. Hey, till next time.
See you soon.
We'll see you soon. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Natural AF podcast, where we explore holistic healing modalities, mindsets, and methods that reconnect us to nature and our natural state of being.
If something resonated, share this episode and see the show notes for our guest links, as well as all of our discount codes for our aligned affiliates and natural art form, where we handcraft a range of organic, natural remedies to help support your body's natural healing abilities and help support the show.
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please take a few seconds to leave us a rating and review. And if you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, hit the like button and drop us a comment, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates.
We're not here to conform, we're here to remember what's real. So step into your power, be curious, and be natural AF.